Hello. Hello, Matthew. I'm eating a boiga. I'm eating a burger. Yeah, let's come back. Hello, Vite. I'll get back to you guys once the ad break is done and once I finish eating this boiga. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm still chewing. I'm still chewing. Oh my god, I tried to like speed eat that burger, but I only got halfway through. So during our next break, I'm gonna finish that burger. But hello everyone, how you guys doing? There's so many people today. There's so many people. Oh hello, I missed you guys. It's been 2 whole days and an extra hour since I last chatted with you guys. Even on the Discord, I've been kind of quiet because work's just been busy. Work's been so busy. But let's go. Let's get to class. Let's get to class. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome. It's me, Babinka Bear, your local sun bear, art history teacher, and educational streamer. And it's nice to see you guys again. 2 days feels so long, but I think it's also because I had like long work days too. But hello. Let's say our hellos. I got the food out of my teeth. And then we'll chat. We'll yap, and then we'll get into our art appreciation. So let's see. Hello, Matthew. Hello. Hello, Vite. Oh yeah, get your stickers if you haven't already. Get your stickers. Hello, Mega Bronson. A fish-shaped burger? No, it's a burger-shaped burger. It's a Western style burger with like the onion rings and it's vegan though. We Beans and I got takeout from a vegan like burger place that does like imitations of like, you know, like In-N-Out and Burger King and McDonald's, but it's like vegan versions. I like it a lot. So I had like the Western style burger. If you guys don't know what the Western style burger is, it's like yeah, like burger patty, onion rings, sometimes bacon, and barbecue sauce. Just those things. No, not a veggie in sight. Maybe I should have ordered something with veggies now that I think about it. But yeah, I needed it today. Today was this whole week was like tiring, but good. Like coworkers, great. Students, great. Teachers, great. It's just a lot of like rescheduling and stuff. But and long-ish work hours. But and it's also like I'm trying to get a lot done before I go on vacation. On next week. Oh my gosh. Yeah, actually let's put some music and then we'll continue with our hellos. I was listening to Abingdon Boys School. If any of you guys were like anime fans in like the 2000s and the 2010s, their music will sound familiar to you. But let's play some. It might be kind of soft, but I want it to not distract me because whenever it's like a super recognizable song, I break out into song. But yeah, so let's see. Hello, Gojikins. Hello, Emolge. Hello. By the way, I realized a bit belatedly. Do you want me to refer to you as Emolge or Rin or either? You let me know. Hello, Midori. Welcome. Doing swell in East Burgerland. Yeah. Hello. Hello, Ghosty. Hello, Outermost Ghost. Welcome. Vegan hooligans? I can't say. I have heard of them though. I bet I don't think it'll super dox me, but like yeah, it is like a vegan place that does like burgers and stuff. Burger shaped fish. I wonder. Actually, that does relate to like what we're gonna be looking at today. By the way, boiga. Oh, we'll look at that. Either's fine. Cool. Thank you, Emolge. Thank you. Barbecue. Barmba. But yeah, barbecue. It's very, very Western, that burger. Very Western. I'm hearing only positives with the breaking out into song thing. It's true, but then like I get more sidetracked than I already do. Like I feel like I get very sidetracked. I've like watched my own VODs before. And I'll notice that like sometimes I'll start a topic and then I'll get sidetracked and never come back to that topic. And a part of me is like, I wonder if people get mad when I like start a topic and it's like, yeah, tell me more about that topic, Binka. Tell me more. And then I'm just like, oh my god, I love this song. Break out into song, never come back to the original topic. Bunger. Oh yeah, wasn't there like a Western style bunger? La la bumba. Tangent juice and much of it. Yeah, so like I'm going on vacation next week, you guys. It's the middle of the week, so you still are gonna get me for 1, maybe 2 streams. But yeah, like starting in the middle of next week, I'm I'm gonna be gone. You guys are gonna have Mr. Pancakes at the helm. Let me see if I can I pick him up? Did I lock his position or can I pick him up? Oh, here we go. There we go. He'll be at the helm. Let me switch him so he's over the desk. For practice, you see. Uh-oh, I accidentally hit him. Where'd he go? There we go. He'll be at the helm, this one. So you treat him nicely. You treat him nicely, okay? It's night on America. Yeah, it's so my local time is always like right above chat. If you look like top, what is this, right hand corner? That's my local time. So it's currently 7:42. I started an hour later than usual. Just because of like I said, work was a lot today. I got home like around 3, but I still had to do like, emails and office stuff, and then I had to like record a video. And then yeah, I was still working until like 5:30-ish, so that's why I like pushed it up. I pushed the stream up by like an hour. But like I said, it's because I want to get stuff done by the time I go on vacation, so I don't get no emails. No emails from people. And even if I do, well, first of all, I already direct them to my manager. I'm like, I'm gonna be out of town these dates. Please direct anything to my manager. And also, the question you have is probably already answered. You just gotta read the rest of the email. It's 11:42 and oh, cool. Is that C? Are you Southeast Asia, Midori? If you don't want to dox yourself, no worries. No worries. But yeah, it's evening over here. Yeah, this won't be a super short stream, but because I'm a little tired, I might speed things up. I do want to rest, and I do have a stream tomorrow morning too. But there's a good amount of art that we're gonna be looking at today. I'm pretty excited. It's been a minute since we last did some art appreciation. So we're gonna be looking at works that you guys recommended. So Borgar. So a lot of these were recommended via my Discord. But for this stream only, well, maybe also for future streams, but we have quite a few like newbies. We have a new some people who just joined the class relatively recently. This might be your first art appreciation stream. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Matthew, for linking the Discord. Yeah. Today is Friday in California. Huh? Shota. So apparently in that quote, he's actually saying it's fine day in California, but I still love seeing it on Fridays. Also, what the hell is California? I'm in Barifornia. Yeah, today is Friday in Barifornia. Shuto. Oh my god, this song. Isn't this D. Greyman opening? Like the first one? I love it. But yeah, so a lot of folks recommended stuff in my art appreciation channel on Discord, but for this time only, for any newbies, if you want to just like recommend a certain artwork, like you want to link it. Oh wait, links are not allowed in the chat. So you might have to go here. I'll show you. I can send links, but you guys can't. But you can go to my my Bisky here, to this one. This specific post where I talk about art appreciation, and you can comment there if you want to like link a certain work for me to check out. But I'll be a bit choosy. If it's something that I feel like I won't be able to really talk about that much, I might skip it. But we'll see how it goes. Yeah, limited time offer. Come one, come all. Exactly. So yeah, that's the deal for today. So let's see what art. I'm doing it the same as the last time I did an art appreciation. Okay. Rewind. If this is your first art appreciation stream on my channel, here's the system we're gonna be doing. Oh, thank you, Matthew. Thank you for pinning that. Here's how it works. So I usually focus on like a couple of works or a couple of artists. So today we're just gonna be focusing on like 3 artists, and I'll be doing a bit more of like an in-depth kind of like examination of their work. But like I said, I'm kind of tired, so it might not be too long today. So for today we're gonna focus on Kumako, this artist recommended by, I believe, Shiopi. And then this artist, gore, blood, and nudity warning. Mike Franchina, recommended by Matthew. And then Hanabira, recommended by Cielo. So we're gonna do a little bit of an extended look at their works. And then we also have some honorable mentions. I'm still workshopping a name. But like I was thinking like Binka, I was like Binka bites because like a little bite of like the pastry babinka. But I was like, oh, does that sound kind of sussy? Like, I don't want you guys taking a bite out of my bare butt, like so. I was like Binka bits, like it's supposed to be like a bit, like a tiny piece of art appreciation. Like I'll look at something and be like, ooh, I like it because XYZ. And, it'll probably be less than 5 minutes, of like examination. So I'll take a look at some other works that are recommended by folks. And yeah, that'll pretty much be it. But I'll do it so that like we'll focus in depth on one artist and then go over to the Binka bits. Talk about this for like 5 minutes, maybe have an ad break. And then go back to like a more in-depth look at like another artist. So yeah. This is my first to be sure. I'm sure. Tokusatsu meme. Wait a minute, Gojikins, I've seen you here before. You've taken this class twice already. I'm just kidding. I was about to say Binka Bites is better than Binka Bit. Then you said it. Oh my god, there was that one clip I did like quite a while ago. I was like playing Legend of Zelda. I think I was like being anxious about like if people like I think I was overthinking like, oh, when people see my chat messages in Randon's chat and I'm being like mean or aggressive towards him because the whole bit with Randon, I'm wondering if like are people like, wow, Babinka is kind of a Babinka bitch if you think about it. It's one of those like anxiety thoughts of like, what if people hate me? But it's also like, I don't know, Randon has the whole bit where people are like, stop moaning. Stop moaning. Borgar. I mean, usually the bear bites you. True, but only if you're messing with the cubs. You mess with the cubs, you get the binka. But my glasses and hat are different this time. My disguise is flawless. Okay, you're right. I'm looking at your avatar right now. The last Gojikins did not have a yolk on their forehead, so I'm thinking of another Gojikins. They hate me. The Randonites hate me. You've never mentioned Emperor to my knowledge, so you're probably good. Yeah, you're right there. I haven't. I don't even have like a witty like response to that. I don't even have like a witty, like haven't I? I'm just nope, never really mention it. Not really my thing, but definitely don't, I'm not opposed to it, but like but not usually something I bring up in chat either. But yeah, so that's how today's gonna play out. But I was looking also at this have you guys heard of Google Arts and Culture? Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it, but it's just like a little section of Google that focuses on arts and culture, and I think it's really cool because they like, let's just go to Google Arts and Culture. It's just one of those like, oh, here's a way to appreciate art more. Choose a museum to spend the night. Today's top picks. This is cool. This one I might want to play on stream. If not today, then another day. But it's basically just like a little hub for like museum stuff, art stuff, and I was like, oh, maybe I can also like explore this sometime, either today or another stream. The only thing with Google Arts and Culture is that they have like little games. They have cute little, so explore, you can explore different like art topics, color, time, virtual museum day, very cool stuff. And then they also have some games. They have some pretty cool games. I've played a couple, but when I was looking for like when I was teaching at like a summer school, I was looking for like activities to do with the kiddos, and like I was looking at some of these things. But there's little games. I think they're really neat. The only thing is that some of them like feature AI generation. like AI generated stuff, and I don't know, I don't really like that one. I don't really like that as much, but there is some stuff. There's some stuff here that is like pretty cool. It's like I feel like it helps to kind of like teach certain concepts, you know? Cuz I was looking at, for example, like Kandinsky. If you guys don't know who Kandinsky is, they're more of like an abstract artist. Like they don't draw like figures, right? They draw more like shapes. They focus on color and stuff. It's one of those artists that like people can very easily be like, "Oh, this is art?" Question mark. It's just a bunch of random stuff. But I think like Kandinsky's I don't know, like the way he does it, it doesn't feel random, and like there does seem to be like certain themes with like how he makes his work. I like this one. White zigzags. I don't know, it doesn't feel like something that like you know, like a common thing that people say about modern and like contemporary art is like, oh, a 9-year-old could do that. And I don't know, this feels a bit more structured, even though it also seems kind of random. And people in the past, like other art analysts and like art historians, have kind of like compared his work to music. There's a game here in Google Arts and Culture where like you can effectively listen to his paintings. Like they use kind of like the shapes and the colors, and they like translate that into music. And I think it's really cool because it actually just makes a lot of sense for his works. Yeah, if let's dial it back a little bit. Let's go back to Kandinsky and what I mean by like abstract artists. So let's do a little bit of compare and contrast. Let's see. An easy one is Van Gogh. So there's art that shows like a very clear subject, right? Like let's look at one of his more famous works, the sunflowers, right? This is Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh. I like his art a lot. He's also very famous. Like I feel like a lot of people will say like it's kind of overrated because he's so famous, right? But I don't know. I am kind of a sucker for his story. Like this, it is very like I don't know. He was just a very very sad, depressed guy, and yet he. Okay, I may be inspired by the Doctor Who episode. I'm just gonna say that right away. Person with synesthesia. That's not what it sounds like at all. Yeah, I've heard people make that comparison too. Yeah, like that's not what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. Plays rock music. You're a sunflower teacher. Oh, hello Yuki. Hello. I should have a sunflower outfit now that you say that. But yeah, if you look at this painting by Van Gogh, by the way, I'm American, so of course I pronounce it Van Gogh, but I've also heard that, like, I guess British people say Van Gogh, but the actual, like, Dutch way to say it is, like, I don't even know if I can pronounce it. It's like Van Gogh. Like, there's a little bit of a, it's like the German, like, CH sound, I guess? I don't know. Someone correct me. Feel free. But I'm American. I'm bare American. We say Van Gogh. So Van Gogh's works, really nice. He really likes the color yellow. But if you look at this, yeah, I'm bare American. Born and raised. I bleed the red, white, and bear. But yeah, if you look at this painting titled Sunflowers, very easy to tell that it's a painting of sunflowers. Duh, it looks like a sunflower. You got the stems, you got the petals, you got like the vase that's holding them. You have different types. So like you have like the center over here with the petals, but then you also have these like fluffy ones. And you can tell that it's sunflowers, right? Now, if we go over to the work of an abstract artist, cool painting. Yeah, I love. Excuse me, I just burped. If you look at the works of Kandinsky, though, if you look at it, it's like, oh, what is this, you know? And of course, people will have different interpretations. Like for me, I see like a four-legged animal here, maybe a giraffe, because it looks like this is the neck, these are the legs, or maybe it's a camel because this looks like a hump, right? But if you look at this, you might have a completely different interpretation. You might be like, an animal? I see like brass knuckles, you know, like this is where you put the fingies, right? Or I see like a light, or you know, like everyone's gonna have a different interpretation. And to me, that's what I really like about modern and contemporary art. I'm not as well versed in modern and contemporary as I am in like ancient art, but like I think that's the beauty of it, is that like you can have a discussion with someone on like what you see, what you interpret, and why. It's kind of like tarot cards in a way. That like even if one tarot card has like a set meaning, two different people will interpret it in their own way, depending on like their, what's going on in their life at the moment, right? So I think that's the neat part. I think that that's kind of the beauty of like modern and contemporary art, is that it's less of a straightforward this means this. It's more of a conversation. It's a discussion. So yeah. Exercise your right to bear arms. Look at my arms. They move up when I talk. Boom. But yeah. So that's what abstract means, is that like it doesn't necessarily show a certain figure. And you can have many interpretations, but there's nothing quite set in stone, especially if Kandinsky himself, he's pretty vague with his titles. Like if we look back at this one, I actually don't know if this is what Van Gogh actually titled it. Like I don't know if he actually called it Sunflowers, but it would make sense if he did, right? One of my Oshis. This isn't my Oshi, this is Van Gogh. Arguably, you could say he's an Oshi. But one of my Oshis, Hollow Productions Regloss Jufute Radin, she is an art historian, and I was looking at some of her clips. Hello, beeplebees. Hello. We're looking at some old-fashioned modern art before we jump into some of the contemporary stuff that people have submitted. But yeah, like Jufute Radin, I was watching some of her translated clips. And I just lost my train of thought. Wait, what was I talking about? Oh, titles. Okay. She's talking about how like a lot of abstract and modern artists, sometimes they'll title something like Untitled One or Composition or, something really vague. And the train of thought has left the station. And that's because I never thought about this before, but a title can really impact the way that you look at a piece of art. So for example, let's take this one. Oh, actually we can zoom in a little bit. Oh yeah, look at that. We can zoom in a lot a bit. Okay. So what the? Art inspector, congratulations, you have zoomed in as close as you can. Oh, I get a badge. I guess I get a badge now. So this is just called composition, but can you imagine if Vasily Kandinsky named this giraffe, right? Or camel? Then your mind already makes the assumption that like, oh, this is the giraffe. Yeah, it looks like it. There's even, it's the confirmation bias, really. It's like the artist is telling you what it's supposed to be, so your mind is already filling in the blanks. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see the giraffe. I see it. And then if he names a camel, then you'd be like, oh, yeah, I see the camel. I see it. It has, like, the humps here, right? Or if he names it brass knuckles, it's like, oh, yeah, I see it. See, this is where your fingers go to make the brass knuckles. And he just made this part long for some reason, right? But instead, he titled it Composition. Very vague. It's like, well, yeah, duh. Yeah, it's like a composition, but what is it of? And it's almost like Vasily being kind of cheeky. He's being like, oh yeah, what is it a composition of? You tell me, buddy. You tell me. So then it's up to you to fill in the blanks. It's up to you to have that interpretation. So that's why a lot of like modern artists and abstract artists, they'll just title it something like no title, Untitled One, Composition One, stuff like that. It's to not like pigeonhole the art into any one meaning. Imagine an artist titling their work The Game or Loss. Wait, could this work as Loss? I don't know. Kinda. Yeah, if it's like The Game or Loss, then that itself can also be kind of fun, right? Like I don't know. I never thought of it before I like watched Rodin's Jufute Radin's like clip about that, because it's like, yeah, a title can really change your perspective on an artwork, and I don't know, it's just interesting that that's a thing that happens. So yeah, those are just some examples of Vasily Kandinsky's work. I think they're pretty cool. Like I said, even if you're not an appreciator of like modern and contemporary art, by the way, I can also define those terms, but like even if you're not an appreciator of like newer art, I don't know, his works, they just have such a aesthetically pleasing use of like color, right? I like the soft texture of it all. You see someone lean in to read a nameplate, they look annoyed, you walk up, you lean in and read the nameplate. The cycle continues. Exactly. It's very cheeky. I want to see an artist that like does that. Oh, you know what? This is an excellent example of what I was talking about. So instead of just titling this, okay, I'm gonna hide the title. Instead of just titling this, like, if you name this composition, then your mind can kind of run wild, right? It's like, oh, what are you seeing right now? Because to me, it looks like it could just be a bunch of random colors, but, you know, this reminds me of those, like, little worm on a string, but with no eyes, right? These could be people, these could be, like, crowds of people. That's what I'm seeing, right? However, he did title it something. How do I zoom out? There we go. Landscape with church, landscape with red spots. So we know that this was meant to be some kind of landscape, you know? So then your mind fills in those blanks of like, oh, you know what? I see it. These look like mountains. These like yellow spots could be like sun rays, like a sunrise or like a sunset, right? And then maybe like these mounds are all mountains, or maybe they're all buildings, right? But if he didn't title it that, you could interpret it however you want. You could be like, oh, this isn't a landscape. This is a worm on a string, but there's no string and no eyes. These are people. These are like, trying to think of something. This is a football, you know? So yeah, that like the titles do a lot of heavy lifting and we don't even realize it. So yeah. But of course, because he titled it this way, I noticed that there's like a whole spiel here about it. It also kind of directs us to what the artist might have been thinking. So that's also cool. Now, let's read together. See, August 1909, Kandinsky and his lifelong companion. They were roommates? And they were roommates? Spent a number of months every year in a house that they bought shortly before Murnau, which lay above the Murnau Moose and offered a vast panorama over Wettersteinberg. I'm sorry if I butchered that. The locals soon called in the Russian house. The process of pictorial abstraction he employed, Kandinsky used motifs from the Alp foothill landscape a number of times. Hello, Pickles the Dill. Hello, welcome. Where we're doing a little bit of art appreciation. We're looking at the works of Kandinsky. Then we're going to be looking at some more contemporary stuff. Just got off work. Nice. Me too. I ended up like working a little later than usual. But I'm now enjoying the weekend. So I hope you're able to decompress after work with a little bit of art appreciation. Yeah. Let's see. Landscape with the church is inspired by the view of the market town of Murnau with its Baroque parish church of St. Nicolaus exposed on a hill. The surrounding house, a hill nearby, and a chain of mountains visible in the distance were transformed by Kandinsky into abstract colored forms, which nonetheless evokes this Upper Bavarian landscape. Kandinsky painted a second version, almost identical, just slightly more intensively luminous, today found in the Guggenheim in New York. Kandinsky's views of Murnau found a place in the private collection of the poet Karl Wolfskehl in Munich soon after it was finished. So yeah, this confirms that it's a landscape. And actually, if we're continuing with the comparison to Van Gogh, let's see if Starry Night is here. I don't think it is. Can we? Starry Night. Here we go. I just watched a clip from Rodden about this work as well. This is another landscape, right? Like it's a little bit more clear though that this is a landscape because you see like the mountains, you see like the moon and the stars, you see this like spire. To me, I always read it as like a tall building, but apparently it's a spruce or like a tree. And then there's also like a church with a spire over here too. But yeah, like comparing and contrasting, this is still, you could tell it's a landscape, but it's not like photorealistic because it's more impressionistic. It's the impression of that landscape. And then this is another landscape, but if it wasn't titled landscape, then you know you could let your imagination run a little bit more wild. So I think that's what's pretty cool about it. So yeah. Yeah, I just saw like a clip from Rodden kind of explaining this one. She said that this church, so like this is actually based on a real viewpoint, and it was actually from a church that Van Gogh was housed in when he was seeking mental help. Because he like the big thing with Van Gogh is that like he had a lot of he had mental illness, very depressed guy, and I think ultimately he did like take his own life. You guys should watch the Doctor Who episode because like that episode like it made me really appreciate Van Gogh. And like I forget the exact quote, but the doctor was talking, or no, it wasn't the doctor, it was like a curator talking about like, you know, Van Gogh took all of the sadness and tragedy and depression of his life and turned it into like beautiful works of art. And like, I don't know, I always think of that gif of Van Gogh like crying as he's looking at this museum full of his work, and it's very poignant. It makes me sad. But sad, like, I don't know, it's very complex. But yeah, like this is the viewpoint. Like you can kind of imagine that, like, you know, Van Gogh might have been at his lowest point, and like he's looking out the window at this beautiful view, and he decides to paint it. That, I think that very much encompasses like Van Gogh, right? But yeah. And then apparently from what Rodden said, this church wasn't actually there. Like people actually found like the place where this landscape would have been, and there's no church there. But apparently like it might have been like a symbol for how Van Gogh felt about church and faith, because he has like a pretty complex relationship with it. I think he was very devout and wanted to be a preacher, but for whatever reason that failed. So I think people have theorized that like this is a symbol for that. Sometimes you just gotta comp in a church. Exactly. Sometimes you just gotta like sneak something in a little cheeky, right? But yeah, so that's a little comparison of like what I mean by like abstract, what I mean by like figurative art. I'm sharing a lot of terms. At any point, if you want to be like, teacher, what the heck is that word you used? Let me know. I'm down to always explain, right? Last terms I'm gonna explain before we get into the works that you guys recommended. Modern and contemporary. So I've talked about this before, but those are actually two different in the art world, in the art history world. Modern art and contemporary art are actually two different categories. And a lot of people will think that like art that is made now in like the year 2024, that's like modern art, right? Actually, you're wrong. But it's more of like a formal art designation, right? Like, so modern art in art history typically refers to art from yeah, exactly. Actually, it's not modern, it's contemporary. Modern art refers to art that was made with the into like the advent of photography, so like 1890s up into the 1950s. After World War II, essentially. So it's like the advent of photography to World War II. That's modern art, because that is when art starts getting quote unquote weird. Like before that, at least in like Western art, a lot of art was dedicated to looking as like close to reality as possible. And like I said, it's not all art. It's not like all art all over the world, because it's different in you know, like African nations, it's different in Asian cultures, it's different in like Southeast Asia, South Asia, etc. It's different in like Native American nations as well. But for the West, a lot of it was like, oh, we want to make this art portrait as realistic to the person as possible, or we want to make it like however the commissioner wants it, right? But then with the advent of photography, it's like, uh-oh, now you could just do it in a couple of seconds, huh? Oh no. Well, I know that, okay, so cameras, like, I think initially they weren't just 1 second, but you know what I mean. It could do it pretty instantaneously by comparison. So then artists were like, okay, crap, what do we do? What do we do now? And the answer was like, well, let's make art weird. Let's turn it into this conversation that I was talking about. Like, instead of people just looking at art and being like, that's a great sunflower. That's like, oh boy, look at those pretty flowers. then it's like, oh no, I want to make something weird and make it into a conversation, you know? Even with Van Gogh, even with Impressionism, it was like at first people didn't like it. They didn't like this style. It looked unfinished to a lot of people. Like when like when these works were like debuted, a lot of the art critics were like, this is trash. Like this looks like you didn't finish it. Like you didn't blend enough, right? But then eventually like people started to get like more of a liking to it. But this was like almost like a counterculture back then. It was like, this is a little bit too radical for me. I don't like it. And from then on it just got weirder and weirder. So that's why it's called like modern art, because it's like it's so different from like what came before. Now, from the 1950s to now, in 2024, that is contemporary art. So, like, I think then I'm a little less knowledgeable in contemporary art. I don't quite know the history of it as well. But yeah, like, that's all I kind of know is, like, the designation is, like, after the 1950s, 1960s, 70s, then you get more into, like, contemporary stuff. So, had them quaking in their boots, exactly. You're back, you finished eating lunch. Nice. I hope you had a yummy lunch. I was just eating a Western-style burger before we started stream. So, yeah. That's just a little primer on, like, abstract art. Teacher, can you please tell me the history of contemporary arts? Oh, no! Goodbye. No, yeah, I'm not as well versed. I just know that I have like favorite artists that are contemporary, like Yayoi Kusama, for example. She's one of my favorites. Kusama. You guys might have seen her works before. She's the one that does like a lot of the polka dot stuff. So she's a lot more contemporary. She does stuff like this. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I don't know the history of contemporary art as well. But it's also because it's so diverse. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a primer to that. And with that, here are the artists that we're going to be looking at. I know I already like talked about some of them at the very beginning of the stream, but just as a preview, first up is S. Kumako, recommended by Shiopi, followed by Mike Francina, recommended by Matthew, and then Hanabira, recommended by Cielo. And then we're going to have some bits in between. So we're going to look at the work of Yuga Paint, Max's Taxidermia, and North of the Border, which we've seen some of his videos before. But this was recommended by Julian, I think. Teacher, I'm tired of art history. When are we learning about advanced biochemistry? Oh, no. Well, you see, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and when you eat lettuce and you get the crunch, it's because you're breaking the cell walls with your teeth. Goodbye. And avocado's number is mole. Or was it Avogadro's? Whatever. Kind of like Impressionism art. Me too. I like Impressionism a lot. I do like the effect it has. It's this term that a lot of I guess like art appreciators say is like it's very painterly. When you say that a work is painterly, it means you can see the brush strokes very well. So yeah, I also like Impressionism. You like the crunch? Yeah, I love the crunch. I also got distracted by this. Like, what is this, Kurt Sagat? We have to talk about weed. We're good. We're good on that. Okay. So with that, let's get started. I need to take a breath because I was yapping. Oh, and I saw that. Ooh, I saw that. Rin, you linked a pie study. Whoa, that's intense. We'll look at this one too. Okay. Let's start with this artist though. So this is S. Kumako. I'm gonna link them in the chat. You guys are trying to get the star. I see it. So yeah, this was recommended by Shiopi, and they seem to specialize in kaiju, like those big monsters, kind of like Godzilla, but they're based on food. I think that's so cool. Like I love, well, you guys know me. I love Digimon. Like I love Digimon, and to a lesser extent I also love Pokemon. I love, like, you know, like monster design type things. So this is definitely right up my alley. I love how they're like these fearsome monsters. Actually, let's focus on the one that Shopee linked directly, which is like the burger one. There we go. Those are so neat. Yeah, they are. I agree. So I think I really like that they still look like monsters, but they're also kind of cute. Like this artist Kumako, they also imbued a little bit of like a cute style on it too. Yeah, food mimics. Yes, exactly. Fearsome but tasty. Yeah, I think about that a lot. I think about how like these actually make sense as like actual monsters, right? But do you think like do you think like they also live in fear because humanity wants to consume them? You Digimon? Nah. If you ever like encounter an imposter Bibinka or like an evil Bibinka, she'll say something like, "I think Pokemon's better than Digimon." Actually, I think they both have their strengths in different things. I like both, but I like Digimon more. So evil Bibinka be like, actually, Digimon copied Pokemon. That's what evil Bibinka would say. But yeah, so like I love these monster designs. So they're obviously they're based off food, right? So this one's based off a Borgar, which I was just eating. Oh, yummy, hungry petware. Have you eaten yet? I gotta say the usual Filipino thing. Did you eat yet? I'll give you guys a warning. You guys should eat before we look at this section, because that's actually why I got a burger before stream. I was eating my Western style burger. I have, but that has never stopped me. Evil People says the same thing. Yo, me too. Evil Vinka. Miku is an AI voice. The pyramids were made by aliens. Oh my gosh. We have to stop Evil Vinka. We have to stop her. Did you hydrate? Eat food? Yeah, exactly. I actually have a shake. I should hydrate soon, but yeah. I got a vanilla shake. But yeah, so let's look at this guy. I can't read the kanji. I've been slacking on my kanji practice, but I can read the hiragana. Or is this katakana? This is katakana. It says Bagara, and it's like a take on Godzilla, cuz the kanji, or not the kanji, the spelling in hiragana for Godzilla is actually Gojira. But this is Bagara. So like burgerla. I'm the guy who will eat a whole normal dinner and get a call like, "You want to go get dinner?" And I could eat. I tried to do that, but lately I've been under eating a little bit because I don't know, sometimes I just forget to bring like food with me to work. So I've been under eating, and then I finally had the chance to like eat a little bit more than usual, and I ended up getting like heartburn for like 2 hours. I was like, "Oh no, I can't fit it in my tummy anymore." See, the monsters want you to try to eat them. That's how they lure you in. Oh, it's like a Venus flytrap, right? Or like an anglerfish. It's like an anglerfish. Not a Venus flytrap. I think I was thinking of like an anglerfish. Yeah, like but this is a cool design. So like Bagara, it's Burger Godzilla. And then this one, I can't read the kanji, but this one says Potefu to no, and then the kanji that I can't read. This one says Daburu Bagara. So like it's double Burger Godzilla. This one says Tashtaba. Kau? Tashtaba Kau. I don't know if that translates to like fried or something, but yeah. My burger's growling at me. Oh no. But yeah, these are like Burger Godzillas. I think what I like is like when I was first looking at this, I was like, "Oh, there's no arms. And then I realized, wait, there are arms. It's the cheese. It's got cheese arms. And then when it like gets up and roars, you know. It like unhinges its jaw like a snake, but then you see like the cheese, it's almost like the saliva, right? Charms. So yeah, it's I like the little feet. And then there's also like a French fry monster as well. And then the double double. You gotta have the double double. I wonder how they live. Is it like, you know, with those double-headed tortoises? Or sorry, turtles? The toidles? Let's see what this says. Bagara. I don't think I can say that. Bagara, the beast. A beast that is said to have appeared together with Potifla or Potifra. I think that's this guy. Oh, that's not a U. That's a Ra. Okay, Potifra. It is said that it has various weapons hidden in its body called buns, and uses different weapons depending on its opponent. Ah, so it could hit you with the cheese, could hit you with the onion, could hit you with the tomate. I love it. With the lettuce, the sesame bun. Very cool. Very cool. Dabaru kawaii. Oh, this person said that like the double is really cute. Fun fact: a double double in Canada is a coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars. Really? Is that for real? It's like the was it the Pulp Fiction thing where it's like, what do they call a quarter pounder? Which I forgot what the quote was already. If you're allergic to gluten, it can hit you with the bun. Oh no, it's true. It's true. It could give you the tummy wummy aches. This is true. Oh wow. I am a North dweller. Ah, okay. The North, king of the these monsters. Oh no. OBS disconnected? OBS disconnected? Uh-oh. Hello? Hello? Can you guys hear me? I'm gonna go on my phone. Where's Twitch? We're back? Okay, cool. I got like a notification that said like OBS disconnected. We're back? Okay, we're so back. We're so back. Just to see if there's a delay, can you guys type burger in the chat? Or Borgar, whichever you want. Bean, that's on you. Oh no, did you try to play COD again? Oh no! Oh no! Confirm. Okay, it seems like we're back. It seems like we're back. But I've yet to see Borgar. I don't know if there's a delay. Oh, there we go. I'm seeing it. Oh, it is a 20-second delay. Oh no. Dang it. Gosh darn it. Dang it. Okay, yeah, it's about a 20-second delay. Oh no. Well, that should be fine. I'll just try to keep the delay in mind. And I'm hoping I hope the ad break can probably like restart that. Cause I don't want to have to like restart the stream, but it's fine. It's fine. Let's see if did it make me like go live again? Read with the update. Oh no. Oh no. It's okay. It's okay. I'll keep it in mind. But okay, yeah. So, but thanks for staying with me, even though there's gonna be a delay. But, yeah. Let's get back to Burger Guy, Borgar. Let's see. On like I was also trying to think of like kind of like the technical stuff, like their technique as well. One thing that I noticed is that if you look at the burger bun, you can kind of see the brush strokes, right? You can kind of see like their digital brush strokes, and it's one of those things that like looks very effortless. But for the most part, no, actually, let's zoom in. Let's zoom in on this. Look at the texture of the actual like monster, right? Like the meat bun. I refresh stream, maybe there's less delay. Yeah, if you guys, yeah, so try that out, everybody. If you want to if you want to refresh. The only thing is that like when I suddenly there was like a lot of people saying burger at the same time, so I feel like I think that's just how it's gonna be. I think it is what it is. But if you guys want to try refreshing to see if there's like less of a delay, feel free. But yeah, I'm gonna zoom in just so that you guys can see kind of like the painting, the digital like painting technique that this person's doing. It seems like they have like a base layer of like this brown color, but then they also add little like touches of like the slightly darker brown and then like a much darker brown with little touches of highlight. So yeah, I like when you zoom in too, because like you can kind of see what their brushstroke look like. It doesn't seem like they used a specialized brush or anything. It looks like it's literally just a never mind, that's a long delay. Oh no. No, I updated earlier, but it's the weirdest thing that when I play COD, Viveka hella lags. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, dang COD. But yeah, if you look at like the brushstrokes here on the tail part, you can tell that it's just like a regular, I don't know, like G pen or kind of the default brush on any, I guess, digital art media. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's Activision downloading all your data. Oh, jeez. Not the COD being like that. But yeah, so I like that shading technique a lot. 25 seconds after refresh. Oh, no! Dang, I hope that doesn't affect your guys's, what's it called? The Jump Star Catch game. Hopefully that's not too bad. I'm also hoping that, like, maybe the ad break... Well, the thing is, not all of you are going to be in the ad break, so... Oh, well. Womp womp. It's okay. Oh, well. But yeah, let's take a look at some of this artist's other work. We got eggs. Gotta go. I need to encode an HTML website. Good luck! Good luck, Midorian. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Okay, there was one that I was looking at earlier that I thought was really cute. These are all really cute. All of them. Potato. Potat. Nice, Matthew. You got the Buko Pandan sticker. Was it this one? This one is very obviously based off like a sweet potato, right? Maybe this will help. Oh, no! We're flooded. You know what? Give me a second. I gotta dress the part, don't I? Even though we are finally getting into fall. There we go. Got my little swim outfit ready. And then move this. Oh no, Mr. Pancakes, he's floating. Here, we'll put him in the water with you guys. He'll learn how to swim. You guys can teach him how to swim. I heard it's some pandan cookies. Yeah, it's gonna be Star Game hard mode. You guys are gonna have to plan like 20 seconds in advance. Good luck. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, we have some sweet potato ones. I kind of like the steam and the foil integrated in this one. Imora. Oh, thanks for the pet. Pickles the dill. Thank you. I think this one is based on okonomiyaki. Well, it says here okonomiyade. Okonomiyade. I like this one because I like, look at the little like mayonnaise thingy on it. And it, I don't know, like by having certain features, excuse me, you also get kind of a sense for like, if this was a real animal, like if it wasn't like based off of food and it wasn't like, it was like a real animal, you also get the sense that they're thinking of like, oh, what kind of like environment would they live in, right? Because they're also showing like scenes of like them fighting, but I like these touches because they remind me of something that you'd see in like an ocean creature, right? like these big old like seaweed like parts, these extensions over here that could be like, I don't know, tentacles or something like that. Oh my gosh. Hello, Milky. You've been attacking so many people. You shot straight up the chat. Hello, hello, hello. Oh no, you're attacking people. Hello, Milky. There might be a very long delay because my OBS disconnected. There might be a long delay, but hello, hello, Milky. I'm gonna be in your time zone this time next week. I'm gonna be in your time zone. Oh, ad break incoming. Okay. Okie dokie. Yeah, in about a minute, which might be more like 40 seconds to you guys, we're gonna have our first ad break of the night. So, yeah. Oh no, she's attacking. She's attacking. But yeah, so I kind of like that whole thing of thinking about like what environment this creature might have. Oh, this one too. This one looks like the fins remind me of like a turtle. Same with like the beak, right? Or not the beak, but like the mouth. The rampant violence. I know. Milky came in fighting. Exactly. Because I still can't read kanji yet. I can't quite parse out like what is being said here, but it's still pretty cool. It's still pretty cool. Oh, the ad break is gonna start soon. I'm gonna put you guys in the cub corner, alright? It's not flooded in here. Isn't that cool? Isn't it cool that it's not flooded? Okay, I'll see you guys after the ad break. Sorry, I am once again still chewing. Give me a second, and we'll be right back. You guys have been released. Alright, I'm gonna put something about the delay in chat, just so that I can pin it. There you go. And we'll keep that pinned until the end of the stream. Just so people understand. What are you guys doing? You guys are attacking each other. You guys are eating the pipes? No. No. Binkachu ASMR. No. No. You guys aren't good. I feel like I do sometimes like chew things on stream. Not the wires, but the burgers. Just like the... But no. But yeah. We're back. Actually, let me change the music too. Don't worry, I'm also still chewing. Continues to munch on the pipes. Yum. Let's see. We listened to Abingdon Boys School. I'm kind of down for more J-Rock. Is Unison Square Garden considered J-Rock? What the hey? We're playing it. Have to get that iron intake. Oh my gosh, you guys are menaces. You guys are a menace. Okay, I want to talk a little bit more about this cool creature, and then we'll move to one of the Binka bits, the Binka bites. And I think it's another work that was actually recommended by Shiopi as well. Just because I love curry. I really like curry. And yeah, look, it's a curry monster. This one is called kare rice. Kare rice, which also kind of sounds like curry rice, but I think it's, a reference to another monster. You know what? Oh, sorry, I burped. But I don't know, something about this also, like, because the fact that not all of them are based off Godzilla, but other kaiju, also kind of reminds me of Monster Hunter, which I did play the beta for Monster Hunter Wilds, and I really liked it. The only thing is, like, I don't know if I can play it and stream at the same time. I feel like my PC might explode, but it's fun. I do like the Monster Hunter games a lot, and I kind of like how unique their designs are. I also like how, like, it's kind of easy to, like, cutify and chibify them, because I've seen fan art of Monster Hunter monsters as well, and I kind of like that. You actually see a little bit of that with this artist as well. But before we, like, show an example of that, I want to once again kind of zoom in just so that you guys can see kind of, like, the techniques that are happening with how they do their art, because at first glance, I thought, like, oh, there's actually not that much shading. But if you look closely, let's look at, for example, this caught my eye right away, is the highlights on the, like, wet parts of the curry. If you look at that, so, like, once again, it seems like they don't use any specialized brushes. It seems like they're just using the default, like, G-Pen, most basic default brush. But I think the trick is that they're layering different colors on them. And it's not super apparent until you zoom in. Because, for example, like, look at this highlight. It's literally just, like, a line. But then compare that with this highlight, which is, like, a collection of little, like, scribbles. But it's, like, a different color. So it kind of adds a little bit of that, like, wet kind of almost translucent, like, texture to everything. Here, too. Yeah, I love the highlights, right? I love it so much. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, it goes to show that you don't necessarily, like, specialized brushes do help a lot, especially with making just, for example, I think a good example is, like, lace. Like, hell no, I'm not gonna be, like, hand drawing lace anything with the basic brush. That's why there's specialized brushes for that, right? It makes life so much easier. But it's also really nice to just learn how to do things with like the default basic brush. It's making me so hungry. Default round brush is so goated, forces you to learn techniques. Exactly. But Milky also gave me that tip of like, you know, I think lace is the best example of like, no way in hell I'm gonna be like doing that by like with the default brush when there's like a specialized brush that can do it automatically for you, right? But there are also people like, actually I brought her up just a couple like just half an hour ago, Yayoi Kusama. If you guys have ever seen a video of her process, she's the contemporary artist that uses a lot of polka dots. For her, that repetitive motion is very therapeutic. It's very calming. I think she also kind of has like I think she also like is seeking mental help, and she also has like a mental illness of sorts. Kind of similar to Van Gogh in a way. But for her, like that repetitive motion of the polka dots is actually helpful to her. So there might be people who like they hand draw all the lace, and that's very therapeutic and helpful to them. But for me, nah, I'm just gonna use the brush. I'm just gonna use the brush that makes the lace for me. But yeah, quite literally different strokes for different folks. I'm used to using normal round brushes. I didn't have a tablet till I was a man. I want burgers so bad now. Oh my gosh, this one makes me hungry for curry. I want curry. But I also did just eat a burger. So another thing is like the texture of the fur. Or like these fluffy parts too. You see how they don't use too much variation in color. It's almost like just this like light color, and then like a darker color, and then like a lighter color, and then they just kind of like mix and match. They just kind of do like different layers of those like circular shapes. So yeah, like kind of like what Milky said, like just by using the round brush, it kind of forces you to learn some techniques. So yeah. So yummy in my tummy. And the last thing I'll say about this artist is the fact that they can also cutify Yayoi Kusama. Yeah, this should be her. She's the famous like contemporary artist. Yeah. She does these like infinity rooms, but she also there was a video of her when she was like a lot younger, and she's hand painting all these polka dots. Hand painting. And like to her that's actually like she finds comfort in doing that like manually, you know. I think I saw an AI generate. I don't know how I feel about that, but you know, whatever. But yeah, cutifying your design. Cause this made me think of another similar artist. Here we go. There's a good example right here. Look, it's his designs, or I keep saying he. I actually don't know what their pronouns are. I keep saying, oh yeah. So like, look, you can also cutify them. They're still monsters. They're still kaiju, but by making the eyes bigger, by rounding out some of the shapes, it's cuter, right? Conversely, on the opposite end of the spectrum, you can also make something that's naturally cute a little bit more intimidating by making it a little bit more realistic, by changing the proportions, by using sharper edges and more realistic lighting. And then you have the work of RJ Palmer. So this wasn't originally on the list, but I feel like if you're a fan of Pokemon, or you know, if you've been on Twitter long or DeviantArt long enough, you probably know who this artist is. They're pretty cool. They do like they do the reverse of you know, like cutifying something fearsome. They find something that's already cute and they make it fiercer. Let me put this in the chat. I can understand the hand drawing repetition stuff. Yeah, there are some. I feel like when I've made a couple of specific art pieces before, I did kind of like the repetition. I thought it was very therapeutic. Make it Binka-esque to make it cuter. Exactly. Make it round and friend-shaped. Was it AI generated or was it from the Van Gogh exhibit thing they did? It looked AI generated. That's why I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Where you walk through paintings and stuff. I think I saw that one. Or I didn't see it in person, but I've heard about that. So yeah, this is the art of RJ Palmer. I'm not gonna focus as much on their work, but I really like it. So basically they do like Pokemon, but like what if they were actual like creatures in the real world, right? So they use more photorealistic lighting, more realistic light effects, but then they also add things like rugged textures, and then they play around with the proportions a bit. to make it a little bit more fearsome, a little bit more realistic. I also like just like the details they put in certain works. Like, look at this Garchomp, and then look at the little discarded Pokeballs here. It's like people have attempted to catch this Garchomp to no avail, right? Like they weren't successful. This one is pretty cool. Like, it's very dungeon meshy. It's like a realistic mimic, you know? Instead of just a treasure chest with a mouth, it's like a creature that can like unfold and unfurl, and it like is full of these ticks that like it says like symbiotic relationship, and it like swells up to look like jewels, but it's by default it looks like a coin, right? Same here. Oh, I love this song. It's from Blue Lock. I know you went flying whenever whenever Milky attacks someone, they go flying. But here's Venusaur, right? Like, if you compare it to like the like what is it? Sugimoto's art? Is it Sugimoto? I actually forgot. This one definitely has a lot more texture. They played around with the what's it called? Proportion, so that the eyes are smaller. There's more teeth. There's just more like photorealistic effects, and it all combines together to make this creature more fearsome. It's like, oh dang. Yeah, Pokemon in real life would be kind of terrifying actually. And I believe that this guy even like got a job. Did he work on the 3D like Pikachu movie, the live action Pikachu movie, because of his work that make that like in terms of like making Pokemon more photorealistic. I like their take on Gengar. Here, he turned them into like bats. Cause like if you're looking like from far away, it looks like Ghastly, right, and Haunter, but like zoom in and it like looks more like an actual bat. I just think that's really cool. Yeah, their work is really cool. Because it looks like they focus on actual like animals that exist in real life, right? And then translate the Pokemon accordingly. Like Mr. Mime, look, they turned Mr. Mime into a forg. It's a frog. And this one, the Yuki Onna one, I forgot what it was called, but they turned it into like an insect. Isn't that cool? So yeah. This is more so as like a point of comparison for between Kumiko and RJ Palmer, and it's not necessary. I don't mean to imply that any style is better than the other. It's just that they have different aims, right? They have different goals. Like this one is to make like really cool, but can also be really cute and really epic like monsters made out like that harken back to food. For RJ Palmer, like his is to like take something that's already kind of like cute, like Pokemon, and make them a little bit more realistic. It's different goals. So you know, it's not necessarily that one is better than the other. They're both really cool in their own ways. Love that artist. Yeah, they're cool, aren't they? Mm-hmm. But yeah. So that is the work of Kumiko, and then a short preview into the work of RJ Palmer. So yeah, monster design, that kind of stuff can go a long way. Yeah. Okay, before we go on to our next artist, we're gonna go into the Binka Bites, the Binka Bits. But first, just to account for the delay, I am going to take like a 20-second break. Just take a sip of my I have a milkshake. I have a milkshake. Alright, I think that's been 20 seconds. So, yeah, so we're just gonna take a really quick look at another work that was recommended by Shiopi. I believe Shiopi was one that recommended this, and then we'll go back to a more in-depth look at another artist. But yeah, so this is the work of Yuga Paint. Their name is in kanji, so I can't read it as well. This one says Tamayura. Yeah, it's Tamayura, so I thought it was going to translate the actual word. But this is a piece of pixel art, and it's a GIF. So unfortunately, I can't zoom in, because clicking on it will just make it pause and unpause. But yeah, this is some pixel art. And it's really cool. You can kind of see like where they were pretty like economic with their pixels. So first of all, let's go ahead and break down what it is we're looking at over here. So we got a black background. We have a doggo that's sleeping in front of what looks to be like an altar of like samurai. Like at the very least, there's like samurai headgear. At least that's what it looks like to me because of like these shapes. This looks like the centerpiece of the headgear. These little flaps kind of remind me of like the front of like a samurai's like headgear. There's like a ribbon here. And then there's some stuff that I can't make out exactly, but they kind of look like they could be like this looks like either a sword or a pillar with a bow on it. Same with here. They look like swords to me. And then in back of that, or actually to the side of that, are candles with little like papers to kind of... I actually don't know what the papers are for. I believe it's probably to prevent the fire from spreading out this way, but I'm actually not 100% sure. And then in the background, we have an open Japanese style window with kind of like these panels, these like paper panels. And then in the back of that is, I want to say like a wisteria tree. I don't actually know if it is wisteria. Is it wisteria tree? It looks like it. Yeah, it looks like a wisteria tree. And what's really cool is that you can see the shadow of that wisteria tree against the window over here. And then there's finally the moon, which is like a little pinkish in color, and it's glowing. Like it has this really cool glow effect to it. Which is actually illuminating the tree, which is why it's casting also a shadow. And then occasionally you also see a presumably a koi fish or just some kind of like goldfish, right, jumping up. So there's a cool amount of like animations happening over here. There's like the doggy like breathing, but also with its ears flickering and its tail. You see like the kind of subtle movement of like the flame, the candle flame, and then the tree kind of like moving in the wind. So it's already pretty cool. It's like very, very Japan, very like calm in a way too. Oh my god, is this the song? This is the theme song to Tiger and Bunny? Put it up a little bit. I know it might be barely audible for you guys, but yeah. Yeah, so there's a lot going on like for pixel art, because there's a lot of colors, but it seems like the overall color scheme is kind of like brown gold with purple, because the moon is also kind of like a pink purple, and yes, there's also like brown and blue here, but otherwise like for the most part this part seems very purple, and then there's a touch of purple here, and the rest is kind of like gold brown. Which is a pretty cool color combination because technically that is complementary, meaning they're on opposite sides of the color wheel, so they help highlight each other. But because like so yellow, brown, gold, those are all just different shades and different like brightnesses of each other, but it helps to kind of like, I don't know, add a little bit more depth, because this artist could have easily just chosen like a color palette that was like 5 like 5 colors, right? They could have easily just put like, you know, gold, brown, purple, red, blue, and that's it, right? But they have different shades everywhere. So like there's different, like this, the glow of the moon actually looks a little bit more pink, whereas like the lavender of the wisteria is like a little teensy bit more to the blue side, and that just adds a little bit more dimension to it, while still like, you know, if you blur your eyes, like it still all reads as like purple, pink, brown, yellow, orange. It's so gorgeous. I love the details. Yeah. But there's also touches of the opposite color in like I said, I'm kind of like dividing it from like this bottom half to this top half. Because this is predominantly like purple here, but there's also a touch of purple here. So it helps break up all of this like golden brown. It helps break it up, because otherwise, if you didn't have that purple, this would all kind of meld into each other. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of red, there's a little bit of black, but otherwise it all would kind of like turn into one big blob of like gold and brown, right? But the purple helps to, like, that little touch of purple helps to break up those forms and like make it clear that like, oh yeah, it's a doggy, there's the altar, and then there's the samurai helmet, right? Similarly, you also have the brown in the top half too, with a little bit of blue. The brown breaks that up as well. Because what I'm noticing here is that there's a good amount of like different contrast. So, for example, like the window is very geometrical. It's very like, these are rectangles. Like, these are very regular rectangles. Like, they're not, they're not changing in size at all. They all seem to be like the same width and length and all of that. But it's breaking up like the quote unquote, like the organic form of the tree over here. So yeah. The animation is just really cool. There's not much else to say other than like the animation effects is really cool. There's some dynamic stuff like the fish jumping, but there's also subtle stuff like the wisteria tree just moving a little. So yeah. Yeah, that's all I'll say about this one. But if you guys want a link to this one so you can check it out for yourself, I'm gonna put it here. Okay, I'll let you guys look at this one for another 20 seconds just to account for the delay, and then we'll go back to an artist called what is this? This is Mike, right? Mike Francina. And Matthew actually gave me another link so that I can avoid the wrath of TOS. Of Twitch's TOS. They're gonna be like, this bear, first of all, showing a little bit too much leg there. But also she's showing gore and blood and nudity and stuff. No. Yeah, I'm gonna take another milkshake break. 20 seconds. Or 20, we'll make it 30. Chat, what does he mean by this? What does Randon mean by this? Someone throwing me 35 pounds of creamy peanut butter from Costco business. It's only $58.99, $1.48 per pound. Chat, what does he mean by this? Just gonna drop a little like there. Alright, let's click off. Let's go ahead and close this. Let's go to this artist. Teacher, did you bring enough milkshakes to share with the class? Well, you guys all want a sip? It's vegan vanilla shake. Hello, Hanel. Hello. There might be a little bit of a 30-ish second delay, but hello, welcome. I sent a new artist on Bisky, but I don't know if it's okay for Twitch TOS. We'll check it out. I'll check it out. Like, I have a second screen and a second window. So I'll check it out right now, and I'll let you know. But thanks for the heads up. Mike Francina also just had a successful Kickstarter for a game based off his art for 3 million. Nice. Peanut butter deal is it's just a good business sense. True. Okie dokie. So this is our next artist. This is Mike Francina. This was recommended by Matthew, my very own mod, Matthew. And yeah, when you put it in the Discord, you said that it was like a cool mix of like religious and kind of like edgy art, right? Which like that's Bibinka in a nutshell. Like, it's very edgy. It's very, very like grimdark in a way. So yeah, I took a glance at it when you first posted it earlier today, and I was like, yeah, this is really cool. There's a lot to unpack here. My phone's dying, so it's a good night for me. But thanks for dropping by, Pickles. Thank you. I hope you had a good time decompressing after work. So yeah, nighty night. Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, okay. So even though hopefully this avoids Twitch TOS, there still is a little bit of gore because there is hands nailed to the shield. So be forewarned. Be forewarned. I'm gonna give us like a 20-second pause in case you guys want to click off, but maybe come back in like if this ain't your cup of tea, I'd say come back in like 20-30 minutes. Yeah. Trench Crusade is that wait, let me see my timer. Okay, so like 45, like 20 seconds from now. Trench Crusade is a grimdark alternate history where the Knights Templar created a portal to hell in 1095. It's World War I Heaven versus Hell. That's crazy. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Man. I'm just gonna wait 10 more seconds and then we'll go ahead and get started and we'll like zoom in. So, if you're squeamish about that, there's your warning. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and analyze this. Is this to make it? There you go. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. Well, we'll like go from top to bottom. So obviously, let's zoom out first. Let's see what we can see from far out, and then we'll zoom back in. So we have a figure here that is their entire body almost is covered. So like they have a shroud covering most of their body, but they also seem to have some kind of chainmail armor over that, followed by like armor for the shoulders, a cape, all in black, and then like a headdress that reminds me of like Slavic countries. So like Russia, like Ukraine, Bulgaria, that kind of thing. So and that also fits because it looks like there's also some Orthodox Christian motifs. There's some symbols that remind me of Orthodox Christianity. So we'll go into that as well. Shows up to class with hands nailed to a shield. Teacher, do you like my art project? Wow, nice workmanship, beeplebees. I do like it. What kind of glue did you use for that? What's neat about Trench Crusade and Turnip 28, which you covered before, is that they develop bottom up based off the artist art. Ooh, very cool, very cool. So yeah, last kind of detail. You know what? I'm actually enjoying this format of like just giving a description of what we're seeing before we dive in. So, yeah. So, they have the headdress that kind of reminds me of like that like kind of Slavic Russian hat, with some imagery that reminds me of like Orthodox Christianity, as well as icons. So like these images of like saints as well, which also feels very like Orthodox. Liquid nails. And then this figure is also carrying a shield with Christ crucified. It looks like it's made out of wood just based on off the texture that I'm seeing. And then right next, like on the shield, as well as Christ crucified, is a bunch of hands, a bunch of like cut off hands nailed to the wooden shield, as well as some candles, some lit candles. The glue is the blood of my enemies. Wow, very economic. Good job, beeplebees. Now that's reduce, reuse, recycle right there. So yeah, now let's go ahead and zoom in. Oh, what's even cooler is that when zoomed out, it just looks like the Orthodox cross, right? And when I say the Orthodox cross, I mean like it usually has like the cruciform, which is like the cross itself, so one vertical, one horizontal. But then there's usually also a smaller horizontal slab, and then one that's kind of at a weird diagonal. So I don't mean to say weird, it's just like strange to me because it's unfamiliar to me. But so that's usually a symbol of like the Orthodox Church, which is a little bit more popular in like Slavic countries and certain European countries, as opposed to like Catholicism. Imagine dancing baby Jesus, but in this world setting, the game does have tactical babies. What does that mean? What does that mean? So yeah, oh my gosh, so zooming in, yeah, that's definitely chainmail. That's definitely chainmail. You can see every single detail of like the interlocked chains. I wonder if they like hand painted that or if that's like a brush and they like painted the shading on it. It's sick. It's really cool. It's really cool. The person also has a gas mask obscuring their face too. You can kind of see like the metallic touches as well with like this rim lighting around the metal. And then the icon. So these are like gold images of different saints and different like religious figures. I'm a little rusty on my religious figures, but this definitely looks like the mother and child. So the Madonna and child. So it's Mama Mary, baby Jesus. This looks like a nun. I don't know which specific one. I don't know why like my mind immediately went to Saint Teresa, but I don't even know. Like I don't even know. Permission to share link? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. What is it a link? Well, you know what? I'll just open it on my second screen to do like a quick check. And then there's this saint. Is this Saint David? Who's the one that kills the dragon? Saint Georgios? Is it Saint Georgios? I'm just going off of FateGo. So I am actually not 100% sure. But yeah, it's one of those, it's the saint that slays the dragon. I actually forgot if it's like Saint Georgios or not. Oh, there's a little bit of Cyrillic, or is this Greek? I'm able to read that. Let me click on your link. Oh, cool. Ooh, that one, I don't know if Twitch TOS is going to be okay with that one, but but it's cool. Even though, like, I also don't know if they're going to be okay with this either. The hands. Let me see if I can read this. I can read a little bit of Cyrillic. This is Hranite. I can't read what that last character is. But I believe the X is like a H sound, and then the P is a R sound. A-N? Hraniten? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. C-T... Sti-R? I actually have no idea what it says. I could also just be misreading it. I'm actually not entirely sure. There's the crucifixion here. And I forgot to mention that he's carrying a weapon. He's carrying like a whip with many different like smaller whips. I think it's a cat of nine tails, but I'm not sure. Oh, it is St. George? Ah, okay, cool. It's bloody too. I like that detail that it's like the whip, the cat of nine tails is already bloodied, right? So this is a very imposing figure. With all this put together, it seems like they're a figure that like is it kind of like a paladin. Like they're a warrior, but for God. Like, they're a warrior for Christ. So like, but very intimidating because they have the armor, they have the gas mask. So all of like everything that kind of makes them human, like their face, is obscured, right? And everything that we do see is like covered in blood or it's like hidden. They have the shield, which shows like there's so much like Christ imagery, and the like there's a lot of symbolism that goes with like Jesus Christ, including sacrifice, right? Because of, you know, the the ever present that one Bible quote, John 3:16, like God loved people so much that he sent his only son to be sacrificed, essentially, to like, you know, to guarantee everlasting life. I don't know how the quote goes, but it's something like that, right? Like, but there's a lot of imagery around Christ as like a sacrifice, like he sacrificed his life for the good of humanity, right? So this seems like going off that theme of like sacrifice, like it's almost like sacrificing your humanity, but to defend humanity from something else, from their enemies, right? So it's very grim, dark, it's very edgy, but it's like, oh, for the name of God, stuff like that, right? Yeah, it's just quite literally very metal because like they're covered in like their beliefs, like literally wearing their beliefs on their sleeve and on their shield. But let's take a look at the, oh, now it's way zoomed out. Oh, it looks like they use specialized brushes too. If you're looking at like the wood texture over here. Can we bottle and sell the water as one of those flavored waters, but bebinca flavored instead of fruit? Like, you're talking about the dessert, right? You're talking about the dessert and not me, right? Not the, like, gamer bebinca water. What's cool is if you zoom in on the candles, it's just like with the burger Godzilla. It's like you can kind of see the brushstrokes they did to like make that shape. Because if you zoom in on the candles, it's really just this darker like beige color, and then they put the highlight on top, and then a little like candle wick, and then for some of them like a flame. But it looks like it's just, you know, like 1 stroke, 2 stroke, 3 stroke, the wick, you know. And that's all it takes, because when you zoom out, you don't need that much detail. The detail is in everything else. The dessert. Now we know the dessert. Okay, cool. So the bebinca flavored water, yes. Oh, a little bit of a tangent. I don't know if this is gonna sound controversial, but my coworker and I, after work today, we went to a cafe, and it has this really awesome flavor that I love, but I feel like people that aren't familiar with this flavor might be disgusted, but I love it. So in Filipino culture, as well as like I guess Korean culture, there's a flavor called sweet corn. There's also a chip called, there's like a brand of chips called sweet corn in the Philippines. It's really good, and it does have like kind of a corn taste to it, but with a little bit of sweetness. So this cafe that me and my coworker went to, they had a sweet corn latte. Y'all, it tasted so good. It tasted so good. But I know there's people that might not, you know, that might sound kind of weird, but I like it. I like it a lot. And we're not going to be close-minded about these flavors. I trust me. If you can find a place that has sweet corn latte, oh, it's so good, you guys. It's like, I don't know, it complements the sweet corn. Yeah. The thing is, I don't like bitter taste at all, but the sweet corn actually complements like the bitterness of the coffee like really well. I liked it a lot. So yeah. That's why bebinca flavored the dessert, not me. Bebinca flavored water sounds pretty good. Gamer Binka bathwater sounds so cursed, like there's fur floating. Oh no. It's like purple. I mean, people eat high fructose corn syrup all the time. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Hello, Tetradoxic. Hello. There might be a 30-second delay because my OBS disconnected, but yeah, sweet corn is yummy good. Yeah, right? I love sweet corn. I love it. Meowdy. But yeah. So going back to this guy, I don't know. I like how intimidating they are. I like the juxtaposition of like, you know, the softness of Jesus Christ, like sacrificing himself for the good of humanity, and this intimidating figure being like, you're gonna appreciate that sacrifice or else, you know? Or the juxtaposition of like, oh, he did that for the love of humanity. This guy's gonna be hurting people, maybe not for the love of humanity. So yeah, it's interesting. So we'll take a look at one other work by Mike Francina, and then we'll move on. Oh, there's a spiel over here. Orthodoxy officer. Tasked with instilling the fear of God in the troops, the orthodoxy officer keeps the soldiers on the path of righteousness and punishes those who transgress. They are protected by their unwavering faith as well as by the saints they revere. Ah, see? That makes so much sense, right? They're supposed to be really intimidating. It's like, if you don't respect the sacrifice that our Lord made for us, these are gonna be your hands on my shield, you know? Like, that's what I'm kind of getting from this. And the artist did a really good job of like kind of transmitting that feeling by like making like stripping this figure of like its humanity by erasing its face, but by instead replacing it with all these icons. but also these like gory parts as well. Why is it purple? Why is your fur dyeing the bathwater? I'm just a little bear. I'm just a little purple bear. I don't know what my fur does to the bathwater to make it like that, but yeah, no. So Neon the tactical baby, heretic legionnaire. Yeah, I just don't. Oh, it's pledged to Pazuzu. That's interesting. I just don't know if it might be like too much for Twitch TOS. You know. I could link it, or no, you already linked it. So if people want to check out the Legionnaire, they definitely can. Pazuzu. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's look at another one. Oh, this one. Ooh, I don't know if that one is okay with TOS either. That's kind of gory, isn't it? Maybe I'll go with the Heretic Trooper after all. I don't know. Look, it's pretty gory. It's pretty gory. I'll zoom down here. It's pretty gory. And the thing is, like, I personally don't mind. I personally, like, I'm not super squeamish when it comes to gore. But I'm just thinking about Twitch and I'm thinking about y'all. Because I was like, oh, that was guts. That was like, there's like guts in there. So, you know, which is like the lesser of two evils? Is it the baby, the tactical baby? Or is it the gory? Which one? The martyr penitent. This martyr, after suffering grievous injuries, has been resurrected by a meta Christ. Driven insane by the constant pain and existential horror, it has descended into religious madness. It believes it must continue mortifying its own flesh as penance for its sins. Can you send the link? Yeah. Here. So I think we're gonna forego this one just because of the gore. And instead, we're gonna look at the Heretic Trooper. It does have a little gore here as well, like the beheaded like head, but it's not as much as this. So we'll do the Heretic Trooper. The lore is really sick though. I like it. Okay, the Heretic Trooper, one of countless such soldiers. This one in particular is pledged to Pazuzu, which is the name of a demon. I did have a phase in my early 20s where I got into like more esoteric, supernatural stuff. She's a witch! Nah, it was more so that like there's this book called but look, he's smiling! He's smiling. Tactical baby time, exactly. There's this book called The Lesser Key of Solomon. There we go. Lesser Key of Solomon. Meg Frenchina has done work with Blizzard for Diablo. Oh, interesting. Actually, that makes sense. This is a grimoire. It's about like magic and stuff. It was more so like it's pretty well known because it lists a bunch of demons, and you actually see a lot of these names in like some popular culture. But yeah, it names like certain demons of hell, and that's why like it's kind of edgy. It's like in my lane of like, oh, it is nice and edgy. I'm getting study demons and blah blah blah. But it's also just interesting because I think for me that's also kind of the charm of like mythology, is finding out about different like deities and spirits and stuff like that. What's interesting too about, because these are like demons in like the Christian sense of like, you know, evil things that oppose God, right? Because of that, some of the names you see here are actually names of like foreign gods, of like non-Christian gods. So for example, the very first one, King Baal. Baal is also the name of a god. Is it this one? Not the Filipino American wrestler. Oh, I thought there. Wait, was it? Oh, it's Baal. I'm thinking of Baal. Give me a second. There we go. Yeah. So this is a Semitic god. But in the Bible, eventually the name did become synonymous with like demons, like, or a demon, which is why like Baal is kind of It's kind of close. It's kind of close to the name Ball, right? Look at his face. Why does it look like Putin? Anyway. But yeah, so like this lists like all of those names. Bale, Agaris, Vasago. If you've ever read my favorite visual novel, Umineko, there's a lot of the names here, like Zepar, Furfur, Gap, Barbatos Slim. Amon is another one that, like, this might be named after Amon Ra from Egyptian religion. Let's see. Ronove, that's also in Umineko. Asmodeus is in Umineko. Yeah, some of these you might see in like pop culture or media. Oh, you know what? A lot of these are in Fate Go. Like Flower Rose is one. I think Folklore is as well. Phoenix. I've been getting really into the Ars Goetia the past few years. It's like, yeah, it is. You know what? I think that is kind of the charm of it. It's like evil Pokemon. Yeah. 100% beeplebees. In an interview with Mike, said that he likes religious stuff and edgy art. So yeah, nice. There's also a Phoenix in there and a Cerberus. So the Archdevil Iron Mouse. Exactly. So yeah, going back to this one. How much? Oh, we have like a little less than 7 minutes before our next ad break, so I'll actually make this a little quicker. But let's describe what we're seeing. So here we have a soldier, or it looks like a soldier. They have a helmet. Like the other figure, they have a gas mask, but it has multiple openings, which kind of reminds me of like an octopus or a squid. They're holding what looks like a rifle, and then unlike the other figure that we saw, instead of just like a big shroud, they have armor. They have like different like an overcoat, pants, and then bandages on their legs, which is very common in like some military uniforms. I remember because of Hetalia. And then his boots. The figure is there's an inscription on their helmet, which kind of reminds me of the Ars Goetia. If you look at like all of these sigils, these are like the sigils of each of the 72 demons. Kind of reminds me of that in a way. This one also has an icon pinned to their shoulder, as well as what looks like a tactical baby, alongside other, military supplies. And they seem to be holding a head that is kind of decomposed as well. Duke of Vesper, wait. Number 42. Oh, Vepar, yeah. I was like, Vesper? The Duke? My dead grandpa? Yeah, so this, that's what it looks like from far away. Closer, if you zoom in. Ooh, I love how, like, they're not, I don't know, like, they're not super exact with their textures, but they don't need to be. Like look at this. It's almost like they just kind of scribbled horizontally and vertically, but that is still super convincing for this to be kind of like netting or like a fabric shroud. You got your tactical baby. The armor's really well done. With metal stuff, as long as you have very strong highlights, it does a very good job of like looking like metal. Tactical baby when you need to commit extra heresy on the go. Exactly. The helmet's, like, the gas mask is very interesting because, yeah, like, the multiple openings kind of give the same feeling as, like, an octopus, right? I also like the textures here on, like, their icon. Oh, you know what? This reminds me of, like, something from, like, Mesopotamian. I don't know. Like, it feels very Mesopotamian. It's, like, the side view. And they're holding a shield, but it also looks like it could be, like, the wings that you see on, like, Mesopotamian art. Give me a second. So, Sumerian art with like the wings. I need like a winged figure. It's kind of like this, like it's the side profile and then like this shape that resembles wings. That's kind of the same feeling I'm getting here, even though this person seems like they're just holding a shield. That's interesting. I don't know, it's harkening back to like these kind of like Semitic roots, right? The baby. The head. Oh, it's freaky looking for sure. It's very decomposed. You can tell by like how much the area around the mouth has decomposed, and then the eyes are just like black. Let's see. It's all about the vibes. I love it. Exactly, Hanel. I love it. One thing I learned about video games pop culture, if they are grotesque or demonic, it's perfectly acceptable to murder or abuse a baby. Oh my gosh, not the baby abuse. Don't kick the baby. Kick the baby. But yeah, all of this, like, just like with the first one, all of this comes together to just make this really intimidating figure. It makes you wonder, like, there's this mix of, like, religiosity, but then there's some otherworldly stuff, like the octopus head, the sigils that look like they could be demonic. The fact that this little baby and the head have, like, a reversed, pentagram? It's like the upside down star, right? So it adds to this, like, weird juxtaposition of, like, faithful and demonic at the same time. The head is so terrifying. I agree. I agree. It's the state of decomposition that kind of unnerves me. For me, I don't know. The weird thing with me is that, like, I'm not squeamish when it comes to gore. I'm a little squeamish when it comes to decomposition. For me, it's like, I don't know. I don't like seeing things like rotting. But if it's like, you know, if it's just blood and guts, I'm just like, whatever, I slept. But when it's like rotting stuff and like maggots, I'm like, ew. There's also an Islamic faction called the Iron Sultanate, and they have alchemic creatures and homunculi that are based off Islamic folklore. So kind of like the jinn and the Ifrit, right? They have Assassin's Creed. That's kind of sick. That's kind of sick. Yeah, I don't. It just like with what did Tetradoxic say? It looks like a lion with the paw shape and the tail. Yeah, you know what? Okay, let me see if I can find it. I feel like so it's a mix of that Mesopotamian imagery, but also rearing lion. Yeah, if you type up like rearing lion, kind of looks like that. Let me show it off here. Yeah, the imagery also reminds me of like a lion that's kind of like rearing up like this, right? Talking about like this part. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's like a mix of different things. Like to me, it's Mesopotamian, but it could be a lion rearing up, but it could also look like someone wearing like a because this could also look like a skull. So maybe someone wearing a lion, kind of like harkening back to like Hercules or Heracles. What kind of gun is that? I'm actually not sure. I'm not like super well versed in guns. Like it reminds me of a rifle. I've played my fair share of like World War II games, but I'm not 100% sure. The Cult of the Black Grail would scare the ish out of you. Beelzebub is doing his own thing. He created a zombie play called the Black Grail. Yeah, I think it would freak me out. Maybe the lion symbolizes pride and strength, given that the character is a soldier. Ah, so this could even be like I was assuming like with the first character, they're surrounded in all of these what's it called? Icons, like religious icons for protection. This could be that it's for protection, but it could also be a medal of honor. It could be like, oh, this is to show that this person has like valor in war, right? I like that interpretation, Tetradoxic. I like it. A submachine gun. Maybe. I think you might be right. I'm starting to feel my voice kind of like getting kind of croaky, so I'm gonna take a voice break right now. I'm not gonna leave this on screen though, because I know it could be kind of freaky. So what we're gonna do, that is the work of Mike Franchina. If you guys like their work, I think Matthew, if you don't mind putting the link in the chat. We're gonna focus on another work after we get back from the break. Didn't the lore blurb miss? Oh, he's a legionnaire of Pazuzu. Yeah, I think Pazuzu is another demon, but I just know it from Futurama, where Professor Farnsworth, he like I don't know if he made a gargoyle or he brought a gargoyle to life and he named it Pazuzu. So I just think of Pazuzu. You know what? I'm going to take the voice break, but I'm going to try and find that clip. All right? So, thank you, Matthew. Thank you. Alright, you guys chill in... Let's put you outside. Let's put you guys outside. And I'm gonna go ahead and run an ad. And I'll see you guys after the ad break, but I might still take a couple other minutes for like a voice break, if that's okay with y'all. So let's run an ad break right now. Oh, actually the ad break is gonna run by itself, so we'll just do that. Alright, I'll see you guys after the ad. I think we're back. Are we back? Welcome back. You guys didn't try to steal the cars today. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Good job, you guys. Good job. No eating the cars, no drinking the motor oil. Wow. Good job. You guys get a gold star for that. You guys get a gold star. I'm gonna redirect before the 20-second delay, before you guys start eating the cars. Okay, cool. We're here. Alright. So, I'm gonna start speeding this up a little bit because, welcome back. Yeah, welcome back. Hello. I'm gonna start speeding it up because I do feel my voice starting to go, but I do want to at least leave a little bit of room for, we did get a last minute entry from Rin, so we have, and I'm gonna put it here in the, in this section. No, actually, we'll put it in the bid section. But yeah. Okay. We can't eat cars with a delay. Exactly. That was part of the plan all along. I'm just kidding. Okay. So, really quickly, let's look at this other work. This is by Max's Taxidermia. We looked at this guy before, right? Turnip 28. We looked at his I believe we looked at their work before. In a previous art appreciation one. Well, now I have to eat the cars, runs back outside. No, it's not good for your digestion. You're gonna poop weird. No, we don't have a janitor. And I'm not about to be the janitor. Okay, yeah, this is the work of Max's Taxidermia, Turnip Max. And it's based off something called an illuminated manuscript, which is kind of like the illustrations that you would see in like medieval books and manuscripts. It has all of this what's called like marginalia. Wait. Oh my god, I just let Schnackery out and now he wants back in. I'll be right back. Okay. Round 2 of Bosch core art. Yeah, exactly. Also, before I move on to this one, I forgot. So, Matthew had mentioned Pazuzu before the ad break. I looked it up. So, it's actually another case of a demon being associated with like an old god. In this case, Pazuzu was it was from like Mesopotamia. It's the personification of the wind. And it looks like this. So it's an Assyrian, Mesopotamian like figure, but I think it eventually became associated with like a demon as well. So it's another one of like, you know, in the Bible, it's like, oh, that foreign god is actually a demon. You shouldn't you shouldn't worship them. Mr. Rage, hello, welcome. What in tarnation? We opened this. Hello, Mr. Rage. Howdy. There might be a 20 to 25 second delay because my OBS being wonky because of COD. Yes, Mr. Rage. I said the same thing. Yeah, Pazuzu was also in Futurama. Let me see if I can hear. Pazuzu. Is this the one where he was like, I knew I should have broken his legs? Let's play it. I put you through college. There was another one where he was like, why didn't I break his legs? I think it was for the monkey with like the hat, right? That's just one of those lines that like lives rent free in my head where it's like why didn't I break his legs? Anyway, let's get back to the eliminated manuscript, shall we? So, yeah, this is a work that is based off of like medieval manuscripts. Usually though, it would like these manuscripts would be accompanied with like text, usually from the Bible. And this was back when oh wait, let's put the music back on. This was back when before the invention of movable type. basically like those stamps to make to like make printing a lot easier. Basically, people would have to handwrite all of the books, and usually it would be priests. Priests or like people of the clergy. They would be handwriting the Bible copy by copy individually. And sometimes they would get so bored of this, they would actually scribble in the margins. They would make some little illustrations in the margins, kind of like what you might be doing in class. Babing Cubs, are you sketching right now? In which case, good. Keep it up. But yeah, those became what's known as like marginalia. So like these margin illustrations, and eventually, actually I don't know if it's eventually, or if this was just always the case, they would turn into these full blown illustrations, and they were kind of meant to be there. So stuff like that. But what I really like about this piece, inspired by illuminated manuscripts, is just kind of like the paint texture. Let's go ahead and zoom in to show you what I'm talking about. There's something about this like painterly texture. Look, you could see all the brush strokes, right? The theme so far has been me zooming into work to show you that like this is doable. If you just have like even if you have like MS Paint, as long as you know how to like layer your colors, you can make something like this. It just takes a lot of practice. So yeah, I don't know. I like the paint style because it kind of reminds me of Funger. It reminds me of Fear and Hunger, like that style. If we look at that artist, let's see, Fear and Hunger art. It's also very painterly in that way. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, I'm getting a lot of fan art. Here we go. We have some of the creature designs from Funger. There we go. Oh, how do I... Oh, okay. But I don't know. You see what I mean? That like the style of it, I don't know, kind of reminds me of it. It's very painterly. You see like the different brush strokes and stuff. So that's what I'm kind of appreciating. And when you zoom in on the chainmail, you see that it's really just like the same little like a U shape over and over and over. And when you zoom out, it makes pretty convincing chainmail. Let's see. Or just very convincing texture in general. And I like the general theme of this is just like blood and disembodiment and like violence and stuff. Because you got like cut off limbs here. And they're all getting kind of like intertwined in like these vines that you usually associate with like the marginalia I was talking about. You got guts, you got like, knives and shivs and stuff. And this is one of those like, oh, it's a dog-eat-dog world because this guy is attacking this guy. This guy's also attacking this guy. It's like the meme of the people in church. That one meme where it's like someone at a church and then someone behind them has a gun, but then someone behind that guy also has a gun pointed at them. It's kind of like that. Whose art is this? This is the art of Turnip Max. So I'll go ahead and link it in the chat for you. I think Matthew also linked it up above. But hello, Beetle Dove. Hello. I'm Funger. But yeah, so that's a little bite-sized kind of analysis of this. Is like, technique looks really good. I think it's the outlines that make it look very Funger-ish, right? But also just this general feeling of like blood and guts and like it's a dog-eat-dog world. But also one last thing before we move on. Look at this guy. I don't know what's going on with him, but what a guy. What a little dude. But yeah. So yeah, that's the work of Max's taxidermia, also known as Turnip Max. I think we'll do this. We'll the next two are videos. But basically, so this was recommended by Cielo. No, wait, you know what? I'm gonna wait 20 seconds because of the delay. So, as we do that, I need like the finished product. Wait, there we go. No, I want like the finished product. There we go. Okay. So I'll let you guys look at this for about 20 seconds, and then we'll get started into looking at it. All right, I think that was about 20 seconds, so everyone should be, well, not caught up, obviously, because there's always going to be that delay, but now we can get started on looking at this guy. Oh, actually, let me change the music. So we're listening to Abingdon Schoolboys and now Unison Square Garden. Who else can we listen to? We're kind of on a J-Rock thing, so... Ooh, Sid! There we go. Yeah, so, yeah, Tetradoxic. So this is an artist that focuses on miniatures. This is Hanabira, and this was recommended by Cielo Slug in the Discord. So, I think she said that she's like been looking at different miniature artists lately, and this is one of them. And it looks like what this person did is they first disassembled like an old retro PC. We're not gonna watch it, obviously, because this is someone else's content, and I will actually mute it for that reason. And actually, how about we do this? We can also speed it up. Oh, you could do a custom playback speed? Interesting. Well, let's do... Actually, let's do 2 times 2. But yeah, so like the first thing they're doing is kind of like restoring this old keyboard. They're cleaning it up. But then, instead of just like putting it back together, they start installing some things to make a little scene, including a screen. So yeah, then they're kind of like adding a little bit of decoration to all of the miniature work. I know a lot of you are fans of miniatures as well. I know, for example, like Matthew, you do a lot of work with miniatures. So it's always really cool to see how they get decorated and put together. Oh yeah, if you guys would like the channel, well, here's the video that we're watching. You can find the channel through that as well. So they're adding things to make it go from a computer and a monitor to like an abandoned building. And I really like, I guess you would call it like soft apocalypse aesthetic, where it's almost like nature kind of reclaiming things that are kind of dilapidated. So instead of like a dilapidated building, it's like a dilapidated building with like vines and like greenery growing around it. Damn, that's a lot of skill. I know, it seems kind of intimidating, doesn't it? To like see someone that is able to recreate like an entire world, basically. And I feel like it's with any art, is that like it's just a matter of practice. But seeing a professional at work like this, like all in like this carefully curated video, it's like, man, I don't know if I could ever like get to that level. But I'm sure they probably started out simple, right? Like it could be something as simple as like starting out with like Gunpla or like some kind of kit, like creator kit, you know. Hey Poland, hello. I'm more of a fan of maxiatures. I'm curious as to what that looks like. Is that just buildings in that case? Is that just like actual buildings? But yeah, I'm sure like with making something like this, like a fancy thing, I wouldn't be surprised if they got their start with like making model kits or like even those simple like, oh, what are those chocolates that like are in America but like the real version of it is banned? Because there's like those little like kid friendly model kits, right? Where it's like, oh, if you eat this chocolate, there's a bunch of little parts in it. You can make yourself a little car. Make yourself a little car. I feel like that's such a good way to like at least like get the spark going, right? Of like, oh, I can make a little car. Maybe next I can make like a Gundam. And now that I've made a Gundam, I can make like little like scenes for the Gundam. Or now I can make the Gundam look like it's been in a war. War were declared. Yeah, the Kinder eggs. Yes, Gojikins. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, you got the Kinder eggs with the little like thingies. Well, or even like the gachapon, right? Where you could like assemble a little car. So I feel like that's a good way to get a start, and then from there it just keeps on adding and adding and adding, right? I don't know, I had this was one of those like those shower thoughts that I had on the way to work today. So I guess it's more of like a bus thought than than a shower thought. But just the little things that we do that like can lead to, I don't know, like bigger and more sophisticated things. Cause like with me, I didn't start doing art until I was 28. Or I didn't really seriously get into art till I was 28. Like I used to like do doodles and stuff as a kid, but I was never really satisfied with them. But when I was in middle school to like my early 20s, I was really into making anime PFPs, except we called them icons back in the day. And all it is like, cropping anime pictures into like 100 by 100 pixels. Um, and just like making them really aesthetically pleasing. And something as simple as cropping an anime screen cap actually does exercise your sense of composition. Like it helps you realize like should I crop this anime screen cap so that this anime girl is in the center, or should it be offset so you only see one eye, or should it be really zoomed in so you only see the eye, or should it be zoomed out so that you see like the background around her? Like that actually does exercise your sense of composition, of like what is aesthetically pleasing to you, right? So that in turn leads to like, that translates really well. Like once I started actually like seriously studying art, it helped with that sense, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly. The Kinder eggs. So something that starts out as like assembling a little car from a Kinder egg can turn into like this, basically. It can turn into like making these whole like miniature scenes. I'm gonna fast forward just so that we're not completely like just ripping off this person's like content, Oh, this part, look. They're making little like, little cars, little dishes. And because we're seeing someone who's been practicing this for probably years, it looks very intimidating. But I think that is kind of the root of it, is like they probably started out small. And then they built up to what you're seeing now. Because I look back at my work from like 2018, 2020, and like some of it is like, oh, how come I can't do that anymore? But a lot of it is also like, I think I've improved a lot. And there's still a lot that I could work on. There's still a lot of things that I'm unhappy with my art. Like I still don't really get proportions correctly, and I still really suck at shading. but at the same time, like there's still this steady progression that is worth, celebrating. Bill Makes Stuff is another good source for making miniature. Yeah. That's another thing, is like, not only is it like taking a lot of practice to get to a level like this, but it's also looking at other people's builds and being inspired. So like watching this can make you inspired, and can also give you a tutorial of like, oh, that's how they made that. I could make that too. Oh man, they even have like the wiring in there. There was probably a point before where this person was just making miniatures, and then they started to explore the idea of adding like electricity to it. There's videos on YouTube of people making tiny burritos and pizzas and feeding them to hamsters. Yeah, I've seen that too. A Poland, yes. I think like that was the first time I like really saw something that had to do with miniatures. Yes. Wait, let me mute for a second. I was just telling Beans that he can have some of my milkshake. Because we have the vanilla milkshake to share. But yeah, I remember seeing the tiny, like, the hamster videos. It's kind of cute because I think afterwards I started seeing more miniature videos. But, like, I would always be like, where's the hamster at the end? Like, why is it just them building miniatures with no hamster at the end? Yeah. Okay. So this is the finished product. Wait, I want to go back. There we go. This is the finished product. It's pretty cool, right? I like the touch of the keyboard having like moss on it as well. Like I said, I like the whole aesthetic of like a soft apocalypse, right? It's like it's less fear of the zombies, or maybe the zombies already took over and are now dead and decomposing. um and now nature is reclaiming the earth. Like something like that. It brings all the beans to the yard. Exactly, Mega Bronson. Exactly. The vanilla beans, that is. Yeah. Oh, I just realized there's also like a floppy disk drive here. Is that a floppy disk drive? It seems a little small to be a... No, actually, I think it is like a flop. I don't know now. I don't know. I kind of wish I had a cozy little plant-filled hacker pod like that. It could happen. It could happen. No, me too, though. Me too. Something like this would be cool. But it's also one of those things where I'm like, I barely have enough room in my room because of all the plushies I have. Because of the Dunkelskog plushie that I have. But also all of the Tempest keychains and such. But yeah, wouldn't this be nice to just like have? But I also wonder, the people that make miniatures, like these whole scenes for a living, do they just kind of keep it in their space? Or do you think they like disassemble them to make other like works, you know? I don't know. These are things worth thinking about, I would say. So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say regarding this, like from an art history or art appreciation point of view, just because like I'm still not as well versed in like miniature making. I just really appreciate like all the things that they do to make this, you know, like you see kind of the raw materials they use and how they turn it into stuff like wait, actually, what is this gonna turn into? Is that a carpet? Yeah, you would think that it's something that like, oh, they probably purchase all these little books, right? But no, I'm pretty sure this person like hand makes it. Hello, Justin for a drive. Looks like a 3.5 floppy drive. Like it seems really small. I don't remember if because I remember having floppy disks, but I don't remember them being that small. So, but I think I trust you. I trust you. It's not practical, but it's so pretty. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I mean, I wish I lived in a place like that. I think yes. Also, still agree. Also, it feels like, you know, you would have a lot more fresh air, right? Not just because there's broken windows everywhere, but because all of these plants are letting out all the oxygen, right? I don't know. I don't know what it's actually like to be in like a, what is it? A terrarium? Probably very moist, probably very humid, but at the same time, kind of fresh, right? I don't know. It's very charming. It's very charming. But yeah, this is the work of Hanabira, recommended by Cielo. There's more other works too. I only saw this one because like I said, I like the soft apocalypse kind of vibes, but they have a lot of other stuff. Cool. Alright, so we have 2 more works to really look at. It was the last stage of floppy before they were more or less phased out. Guys are, I just like kind of reawakened a memory. Yes, I'm going to delete this whole group. There we go. When it comes to floppy disks, I guess like am I on the tail? I'm not really I'm like smack dab in the middle of millennial. Cause like, isn't the cutoff for millennials, like it's from like the 1980s to like 1998? I was born in 1990, so I'm like smack dab in the middle. So I did grow up like at least knowing what like the big floppy disks were like when they were actually floppy. And then, but I remember like the smaller ones too. I think I had like Reader Rabbit or something like on one of those floppy disks. But I remember when I was really, oh my gosh, this is kind of cringe, but when I was but a young middle school cub, I was obsessed with Bakura from Yu-Gi-Oh! And I used to like print out pictures and put those pictures like on my binder. But I also remember like having floppy disks full of just pictures of Bakura. And sometimes it was like fan art too of like because like I said, I've never like been a Yume, but I've always been a shipper. So So it'd be like also fan art. It'd be like fan art of like Bakura with like various other characters from Yu-Gi-Oh! And it's all just on a floppy disk. And a part of me is like, I wonder what happened to those floppy disks. Like, I wonder if like a retro fanatic found them or something, and they put them in their in their like retro disk drive, and they're like, oh, this is a lot of Bakura fan art. I think millennial ends at 95. Oh, does it? I don't know. I heard like 98 because I have a little brother that he was born in 1998. And I remember like someone said that he's like at the cusp. Well, so all of my siblings are kind of like at the, not all of them. Okay. My brother after me, he's 8 years younger than me, so he was born in 1998. And I remember someone saying that he's at the cusp of millennial and zoomer. My other little brother's 11 years younger than me. He's like smack dab in the middle of being a zoomer. And then my little sister is 18 years younger than me. So she's actually at the cusp of zoomer and alpha. So, old no! I am old. I'm well seasoned. Babinka. You should be old enough to remember the satisfying ka-chunk of locking the file. Yeah, I do, actually. I do. And, like, you press the button to, like, you know, not expel, but, like, to like, let it out, right? Ka-chunk. Yeah, I do remember. I also remember playing with the metal part, which you shouldn't do, but... but yeah. I am old. Okay, so the next two are just more so Binka bits, you know, like it's just gonna be short, kind of like looks at the next two works. So this one was recommended by Julian in the Discord. And this is, I made a realistic Mimikyu wearing Pikachu's skin. So it's a little, I don't know if it's gonna be gory, but it is gonna be like disturbing in a way, right? So be forewarned. If you want to click off, you can, but similar to the other video, we're just gonna like watch but muted and at 2x speed, and I'm also gonna skip around so we're not stealing anyone's like content, right? And not be a react Andy, am I right? No, I'm just kidding. Wow, it's Bear VT. Thank you for joining the class. Hello. If this is the same It's Bear that I'm thinking of, I love your model. And I've lurked. I think it's the same person that I'm thinking of. But hello, welcome. And sorry, there might be a 20 to 25 second delay. My OBS my OBS disconnected. Ooh, look there. So I've seen a couple of videos of people making like clay models, and it looks like they usually do like they use wire and foil. Yeah, hello. Yes. Welcome. Glad you could join us. Yeah, I just clicked on your on your PFP. Yeah. I've lurked in a couple. I've just been too shy to talk. But hello. Viveka React channel went, oh no. No, it's art appreciation. I'm going through my follows and following people back. I saw Bear in art history and I'm sold. Yeah, so welcome. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of art appreciation. So my chat, the Bibing Cubs, they send me art that they would like me to look at. Sometimes from an art history perspective, but more so just an art appreciation point of view. I do teach like very basic art to middle schoolers, so I have a little bit of experience with that, but my training is also in art history. So yeah, but a lot of the time, like art history, sometimes like, you know, like some of the commentary is art history related, but it's more so just like, I like this because colors, or I like this because texture. I'm not as well versed with like 3D stuff because we are kind of looking at this video by North of the Border. And I do like the textures. I'm not as well versed in making them, but I've seen a couple of videos on like how people make them. And yeah, I know that they make the shape first with like foil to make like kind of the really bulky parts, and then like wire to make like the limbs, right? So yeah. Yeah, thanks for joining the class. Feel free to chill. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions or anything. But yeah, welcome. I'm glad to see a fellow bear. Welcome. So yeah, this video, so the title, it's very much like the RJ Palmer art that we were looking at earlier, right? Where you're taking something cutesy and you're kind of making it more realistic, and in many ways either more fearsome or more horrific. This is definitely like more horrific because it's like it's the ghost Pokemon, right? It's Mimikyu, but they're wearing the skin of Pikachu. No. Yeah, exactly. Gojikins build out an armature in a layer. Yeah, so that's the word. I forgot the word for it, but yeah, it's an armature. I love historical art history a lot. After I graduate, I want to audit all art history classes so I can learn more. Yo, that'd be so cool. Yeah. If you get the opportunity to do so, definitely recommend. Like art history, love it so much. Like there's just so much that you can like find out about like a certain time period or culture through its art. And I don't know, I just love it. My forte, like what I usually teach is ancient art. So like I'm a big fan of like ancient Egyptian art, ancient Egyptian like religion and mythology, but I've also been trying to delve more into like contemporary modern stuff as well. Yeah, so like it looks like they're using like model clay for this, right? I like the little touch of adding like, was that like wires or something to make the stitches? Oh, and it looks like it's melting. Well, we'll fast forward a little bit. It's so gruesome. It's perfect for the spooky season. RJ is actually a god I love. Yeah, same. We were looking at a little bit of RJ's art, but we were also looking at an artist who like makes like kaiju, but they're based off food. Let me see if I have the link to their work again. But here's a shot of our Mimikyu. Let's see if I can get that link again. Here we go. Yeah, it looks really good, like really spooky, right? So yeah, like I said, I can't say much on, like from an history or art appreciation perspective, other than the fact that like by using a lot of the brown here, the thing with brown, like I said, it's just another shade of yellow. It's just like a little bit more, well, depending on the type of brown, it's a little bit more desaturated, but definitely darker. So it definitely like mixes well with the yellow of like the Pikachu skin, which is such a thing to say. But I don't know, it definitely adds to it. It's almost like the skin of the Pikachu is like decomposing, and that's why it's like browned and like starting to melt away. So yeah. That's so cool. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, this is the artist that we were looking at earlier, where like they make kaiju based off of food. Yum. And we were talking about how like, you can make a fearsome monster still look really cute, whereas RJ kind of does like not necessarily the reverse, but a different take where it's like taking something that's already cute, such as Pokemon, and making it a little bit more realistic. So I like both takes equally. So this last piece that we're going to be looking at, I haven't heard of this person, but Rin Imolge was the one who recommended this one. I did look at the other artists that you recommended, Imolge, and I don't know if I can show it on screen. I do like their art a lot, but yeah, I don't know if it would break TOS, because there's a lot of nudity and there's some like explicit parts where like I personally do not mind at all. Like I said, I'm not squeamish when it comes to blood, gore, and like sex stuff, but I feel like Twitch-san would be like, first of all, this bear in the swimsuit, first of all, showing a little bit too much arm. She's showing a little bit too much leg and ankle. I don't know. Like, the little bathing suit she's wearing, a little bit low cut, if you ask me. Showing a little bit too much fluff. And now she's showing inappropriate things to her audience. Ban her. No, please don't ban me. Twitch, please. My cubs, they're not, my students are not gonna know what to do. Where are they gonna get their daily dose of art history? But yeah, they do have explicit stuff. I do like it. If you guys want to see for yourself, if you guys want to see the artist that we're talking about, so Emolge, they put this in my on Bisky. Here you go. If you guys want to see it for yourself, go ahead. But unfortunately, I don't think I can put it on screen. Double ban? No. The bear who regularly does not wear pants. I'm a bear. Like, I don't need to wear pants. This art just like me for real, for real. I like this a lot. Okay, we were talking about painterly style, right? So it looks a bit unnerving. I agree. It kind of reminds me of like the Is It Cake? Too many inappropriate pixels. I know. I'm showing too much fluff. I'm sorry. Okay. So yeah, this can definitely come off as unnerving. I see it because it kind of reminds me of like the Is It Cake thing? Is this actually cake? And it's because we were talking about this earlier, right? This idea of painterly. When you describe a work as painterly, what it basically means is that you could see the brush strokes on it. And this one, not only is it brush strokes, it looks like it's made with a palette knife. I'm trying to remember if there's another artist that makes works with a palette knife. Give me a second. Knife art. There's like a couple of specific artists that I'm trying to think of that use like palette knife. You know what? Actually, this is a good example. I just found it off of Google, but I'll show you. Oh, Siraj Fine Art. Yeah, I'm familiar with them. I used to follow them on Instagram. Okay, before we get into that, let's first focus on the artwork. I believe, Rinrin, you said that this is by Adrian Genny or Genny? Could take a look at their other artwork. And this will actually be the last artwork that we'll be looking at for the night. Ooh, they have an interesting style. This is interesting. Okay. It almost feels gory. Like, it almost feels like we're seeing like decomposition, but it's all with like it's like a palette knife technique. You know what I mean? Like, this is interesting. I don't know, something about it feels like we're looking at like decomposition, right? Charles Darwin as a young man. Oh, interesting. I'll go into why this one feels like decomposition, but let's look at this one. So just as kind of a description of what we're looking at, it looks like a figure. To me it reads as like male presenting figure, shorter hair, and it looks like they have their hands to their face, but instead of a face, you just see like these wet globby textures. Very painterly. Like, you see like the paint strokes and like the palette knife strokes. But you could still make out things like an ear, the hairline, you could still make out the hands. But even the hands are almost like, they're almost like sinking into like this gloppy like mess where the face should be. But you can also still make out like the sleeves and the outfit that they're wearing. It's like a suit. But even then, there's like these smudges that make it feel very like ethereal. It makes it feel very I don't know, like they're moving very rapidly. Like if you think of Silent Hill, like the older Silent Hill, like, you know that effect that the monsters have where they like move very rapidly and it's very like jittery and it's kind of unnerving? That's what that blurriness reminds me of. The background is also kind of like, it almost looks like unprimed canvas. If you guys have never worked with like traditional painting or traditional art, typically stuff like acrylic and oil paint is done on something called canvas, which is just like almost like fabric, but it's been pulled against a wooden frame. And in many cases, especially nowadays, they're primed. So it just looks like a thick surface, but it's actually kind of like a fabric, but kind of hardened and pulled against the wood. When you don't prime it, you see like the fabric texture on it, and if you just put like one layer of paint, you can still see the canvas underneath it. So that's kind of what we're seeing right now, is like it almost feels incomplete. It feels very like unfinished. So all of this working together makes it feel very unnerving. Like this person isn't existing in reality. it feels very Silent Hill in a way. Like those nurses that like those nurse monsters in Silent Hill where like instead of a face they just have bandages, right? This art really reminds me of the cover of the book. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. Oh no. I'm gonna look that up. And then to catch up on chat, I hate when my face melts due to the summer heat. Climate change, am I right? We've all been there. The speed ramp movements. Yeah, that's one way to kind of describe it, right? Oh, I'm looking at the cover. Yeah. Yeah, I totally see it. We'll look at it after we take a look at Adrian Genny's other stuff as well. So this looks like it's made with a palette knife, and that's why you kind of see like the goopiness of the paint. And I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is what it looks like if you make art with a palette knife. This is by Siraj Fine Arts. They typically make art like this. And for those who don't know what I mean by a palette knife, it's this. This is actually, if you ever watch like Bob Ross videos, he typically uses a palette knife to mix colors on his palette. So let's say that you have like yellow and blue on your paint palette. You take the palette knife, you take a little dollop, I like that word a lot, a little dollop of like red. I mean, sorry, little dollop of like yellow, little dollop of blue, and then you use this to mix them together to make green, right? So typically that's what it's used for mixing paint. But you can also use it to actually like apply paint in different ways, and this is kind of what that looks like. We'll speed this up to 2 times as well. So you see, like, he takes thick, with 2 C's, thick swaths of, like, paint, and he uses the palette knife to, like, make this really unique texture. It's very goopy. And it leaves kind of, like, these imperfect parts, too, where, like, you see a little bit of the original colors. They don't mix perfectly, but that just might be what you're going for. That's the effect that you're going for. You want it to be kind of goopy, kind of, like, incompletely mixed, right? It makes for a very unique texture. And that's kind of what we're seeing in Adrian Genny's work. See, so now they're using the palette knife to like make they're like moving it in like a vertical way, and that contrasts with like the horizontal, and it makes it stand out, basically. Then they're adding, look, they got like really goopy paint. They got like they're like, I don't know, they're like laying it on. And they're using it to make leaves. Then they're adding a little bit of white to kind of make it kind of look like it's shining in a way, like highlights. And yeah, like it results in this really interesting texture. So this guy, he's using that texture more so for things like landscapes. He makes them a little bit more abstract. But this guy, he uses them for a little bit more of like a disturbing effect. Like I said, it feels very Silent Hill. It feels very unnerving. And then for this one in particular, they're Charles Darwin as a young man. It has this weird feeling of like we're looking at something like decomposing. And like I said, that's something that like despite me being okay with like blood, gore, and like sex and explicit stuff, decomposition is something that unnerves me. So both of these actually. And I think it's because they're he's using a mix of red, pink, and white, because what that does is the deep dark red, it looks like blood, the pink looks like flesh, and the white, like the shining white, looks like bare bone. So it looks like, you know, when like you scrape your knee, like I pray that you guys have never scraped your knee so bad that you could see bone, but like that's kind of what that reminds me of. That's why it's kind of unnerving. And because you can kind of make out features, like you can kind of make out an eye here, right, and a little bit of a nose, some of the lips. Because of that, like you can make it out, but it's almost that unnerving, like, oh, it's like the face was scraped away. And if they're using a palette knife, it very well might have been scraped away, which is kind of the disturbing part. So there's one. And then this one too. It's more like on the black side rather than like the deep red, but still that same effect. It's almost like they're scraping away the paint literally, but that makes us feel like they're scraping away at the guy's flesh. And that's what makes this kind of like almost horrific effect. So yeah, it's a really cool effect, but it's It's unnerving. I adore that cover. It's my all-time favorite book cover, and it altered my brain chemistry when I saw it. Goopy paint looks so edible. Oh no, don't eat the paint. No. No, it's gonna make your tummy hurt. It's gonna make your tummy hurt. So, touching on what beeplebees was saying, if you guys want to see the cover, once again, it's not overtly gory, but like I said, because it uses those colors of like the deep red, the pink, and the white, it hints at like blood, flesh, and bone. So I'm gonna show it to you, but just know, just know that, like, you know, it feels very gruesome. So ready? There you go. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. So yeah, see? It has that same effect. I came back to the most gruesome commentary, right? Far too late. The textured look is pretty sick. Yeah, right? I agree. I'm pretty curious as to actually who drew this. So, yeah, you know what? Let's go on Amazon. Let me see if they list the artist. I hope they do, because I feel like that's something that's very overlooked. Portrait screams horror film. Yeah. I agree. Oh, come on. Who did the cover? I want to know. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. Let's cover artist. Tim Jacobson. Oh my god, it's such a like generic name that I'm just getting a bunch of pictures of white guys. Artist. So the artist is someone named Tim Jacobson, but yeah, it's a very like generic name. You're gonna be getting a lot of like different results. Poor guy. Yeah, I even googled artist and I couldn't really find anything, so there you go. There you go. We can just appreciate that. Imagine that Charles Darwin portrait on a nightstand in a Silent Hill. Yeah, we were just talking about Silent Hill. Age. We're just talking about that. That it's like that weird like jittery effect whenever the enemies like they're moving all freakily, right? They're freaking it. Goji Kids, how did you do that? With the delay? you got the star? No way. But yeah, really cool stuff. Jump catch hard mode goat. Yeah. How'd you do that? That's crazy. But yeah, that is the art of Adrian Genny. Oh, they have other work. Oh, they have some abstract work as well. Oh wait, is this still? Yeah, that's still Adrian Genny. Brave New World. Me too, beeplebees. Yeah, I also can't find the artist. Like, I just looked at Google and I believe it was the AI that told me that the artist name is Tim Jacobson. But also sometimes the AI for Google is kind of hit and miss. So yeah. But all right, yeah, that is pretty much. I would say that's actually it in terms of art appreciation for today. So we looked at a whole bunch of different things. We looked at really cute kaijus, some burger kaijus, right? We looked at let's see. We looked at pixel art. We looked at like gory, like religious edgelord stuff that I think is really cool. What else did we look at? We looked at miniatures. We looked at cute like miniature videos. Yeah, hopefully this was inspiring to you guys in some way somehow, or at the very least enjoyable, yeah, in terms of like art, like appreciating art on your own, even if you don't know what you're looking at. I tell this to my students all the time. Even if you don't know what you're looking at, you can always focus on like the simpler things, like what kind of shapes you see, what kind of colors you see, and even just like what the work makes you feel, right? because that's the beauty of a lot of like contemporary or even ancient art, is like it's not necessarily about what the yes, the artist's intent goes into it, but a lot of times it's also the conversation you have about it. Sometimes some Warhammer craziness right there. Yeah, nice variety. Yes, I agree. So yeah, I am pretty tired from the work week. And then next week we have one more stream tomorrow for the week. We have pixel art. I still don't know what I'm gonna do. I think I wanted to make some vacation art, like me going away on vacation, so that I'm not gonna post a schedule next week. I'm just gonna post that image because I'm probably only gonna have 2 streams, or 1 stream next week and then 1 stream when I get back. So, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. I think I will. You found the artist? Please share, please. But yeah. So I'm probably just gonna do pixel art tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. PST. And then we'll go from there. Can I send the link? Oh, you know what? I don't know if Matthew's still here. You can send it in the Discord and I'll link it. Feel free to send it in the Discord, because usually links aren't allowed in the chat. Like, it automatically blocks it. Even if you don't know what you're looking at, remember, it's looking right back at you. What a thing to end on. But very true. No, I'm sorry, beeplebees. Yeah, so by default, links will not work in the chat unless it's me or Matthew that sends it. So feel free to put it in the Discord. You can put it either in general, you can put it in art appreciation. Up to you. So let's finish up with our end of stream tradition, shall we? So we're gonna do wait, let me make sure that no one raids into me. There we go. Oh, Kim Jacobson. Okay, I think I saw on Google it was like Tim Jacobson. Okay, you guys want to see last artist, and then we'll. Ooh, that's so spooky. Okay. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is kind of spooky. It's like the goriness. Yeah, you know what? I'll link it to you guys because I think feel free to click on it if you want. I feel like it might be kind of unnerving, especially because it's 10:30 p.m. for me right now. The Discord is invalid. Oh no. Okay. Let me make a new link. Maybe I changed it since then. Notification settings, active thread, invite people. Here we go. Copy. Try that link. See if that works. And if not, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll let you guys click on it because this could be potentially like very, very creepy, very scary, but it's really cool. I definitely suggest checking it out. So okay, let's do our mosh pit, shall we? So if you guys are new to our end of stream tradition, we have a little mosh pit. I'm just gonna play some rockin' music. And basically all you have to do is just spam your favorite emotes in the chat. They could be whatever emotes you want. And then I have a command to make all of your avatars fight each other, but it's what's it called? It's a RNG. There's not much you can do to make your little guy win. You're in? Nice. Welcome. Glad to have you. Okay, I'm just gonna set up the video for let's see what we're playing today. What we're moshing to today. Well, and then we'll end it off. I'm pretty tired. I'm probably gonna knock out after this. Oh, ignore the fact that my projector's floating, by the way. Where's my desk? There we go. Okay, what are we listening to? God-ish. Deja vu. Hey! Open up the pit. I'm gonna head out. Thanks for the stream. Enjoy your mosh. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Oh my god, Akunohana, let's go. You can do idle. You can do idle. Yeah, let's just do idle. We're gonna snooze that ad break. Oh, it's muted. Okay. Alright, once you hear the music, I know there's like a 20-second delay, but once you hear the music, go ahead and start your motion. Boo, wake up and keep the stream up. No, I'm sleepy. It was a busy work week. Bow. Bow, bow, bow. Na idol sama. Mosh pit. Oh my god, the bird. No idol. Beeplebees, they survived the mosh pit. Let's go. But will they survive round 2 fight? I'm still looking at who to raid into. There's actually a lot of really good. There's always like a lot of good options. Shortcomings, don't show them. Damn it, nobody wants. Too many, yeah. Let's do Jiro actually, because we did talk about Pokemon a lot, and he's playing Pokemon. Hanel, they won round 2, and won't you look at that? We have enough time for a round 3. Redacted. I said it at last. I know it's not a lie as I'm telling you words. I love you. You're my savior, my true savior, my saving grace. See, I know the English lyrics. Who's winning this round? Who's winning this round? It's Justin for a drive! Let's go. Let's go. I'm gonna wait 20 seconds before we raid, or 30 seconds rather. We're gonna raid into Jiro. He's a fellow bear VTuber. He is a moon bear, and he's currently playing Pokemon Unite. And since we talked a little bit about Pokemon this art appreciation session, so we're gonna raid into him. So yeah, I have my oh no, not the ad break. No. Snooze. Let me go to the outro screen. But yeah. Alright, so thank you everybody. Thank you everybody. Awesome stream. Thank you. You guys were awesome. You guys were awesome. Thank you. We'll go ahead and raid. I'll stay for a couple of seconds, but otherwise, I'll see you guys when I see you. Let's go ahead and start that raid. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Just waiting 20 seconds.